Hello, and welcome to Goats and Dragons, the stream where Helpful Goat Gaming plays Dungeons and Dragons, a game of shared storytelling where I try to kill my friends. I'm Andrew Gilbert, the benevolent dictator of Helpful Goat Gaming, but tonight, I'm your friendly neighborhood dungeon master. And I'm not alone. With me, as always, is the unbenevolent dictator of Helpful Goat, Galway, and I'm going to hold off on character names for just a second.
I'm sure I'm going to be playing someone completely reasonable again.
Totally. And we also have Adam.
Hi. Also playing somebody totally reasonable.
Okay. And
just not again.
Just not again. And we also have Lena.
Hi. I'm just playing someone.
That you are. And TJ.
Hello, everybody. I'm just a player.
Just a player in general. I got it. Well, everyone, this is Campaign B, the Waterdeep Dragon Heist campaign. While we have some of our same performers from the Goats and Dragons regular stream, we are in a whole new universe. We are on the Sword Coast of Faerun. So we have a whole new storyline, a whole new everything, new characters, with some of the same voices that you've come to love. So that's what we're going to be doing. Waterdeep Dragon Heist. And this is going to be kind of a shorter campaign for our Campaign B that Helpful Goat presents. And we've been publishing the Goats and Dragons regular stream in podcast form. You can get that called Goats and Dragons wherever you get your podcasts. I prefer iTunes, but you do you. Ours is the one with the awesome looking goat on it. And you can also find our Twitch streams on YouTube at Helpful Goat Gaming. And a word of caution, if you are not up to date with the podcast, the shows on YouTube are going to be way ahead of where the podcast is in its schedule of publishing. So, spoilers.
Although that gap is quickly closing.
That's true. It is. And hopefully then we'll be able to kind of intermingle Campaign B with that podcast release schedule. And that's awesome. Thank you, Adam, for doing that. Also, while we're on Twitch tonight, we are affiliate, which means you are able to cheer and subscribe to us. And as a reminder, anyone who has Amazon Prime, you're able to subscribe for free through Twitch Prime. Super easy to link those accounts and get that set up. And thank you so much for just being here, following the channel, chatting with us, and chat whatever you like to do. We really, really do love it ourselves. And that's pretty much all the announcements I can think of, unless anyone else has anything else.
You mentioned our YouTube page. Anybody who wants to check out a couple of one-shots that we did last month should check those out specifically. The Gat Putin incident, but especially Big Gay Orcs, because that one you don't really need to have seen. You don't need to be caught up with any of our campaign stuff to appreciate that one.
Indeed. All right. Well, with that, let's begin tonight's campaign, Waterdeep Dragon Heist. Our story begins in the heart of Waterdeep. The City of Splendor, as it is called, is an ancient city at the base of a lonely mountain top. Next to the sea, two small islands sit in front of a well-protected harbor. The city is divided into numerous wards, although there aren't many physical divisions anymore, as most of the interior walls have all since been torn down. The majestic city is ruled by a mostly secret council of hidden lords who oversee its administration, the masked lords of Waterdeep. The nobility of the city is old and powerful. There is little economic and social mobility in this world, so power and wealth tend to remain in the same hands. The primary way around this fact is for an individual to become an adventurer. In this case, it is the sharpness of one's sword and the will of one's magic that determines their destiny. Hidden beneath Waterdeep, are the ruins of the underground city of Skullport. It is home of rogues and criminals, another way to successfully pad one's pockets. The mountain itself encases many dungeons, hideouts, hoards, and lairs, an incredibly dangerous yet lucrative place to visit. However, while many attempt to disappear under the mountain, very few ever return. So it is wise that until you are more experienced, you stay clear. The City of Splendor looks even more beautiful at this time of year. The trees have turned into their lush, fiery colors, and the first snow can't be far away. But on the streets of the city, something is bubbling up from the depths. 2 nefarious guilds have begun openly warring. It is not uncommon now to witness a brawl between the Zentarum and Xanathar's guild. Though why exactly they are at odds with each other all of a sudden is beyond your knowledge. Most of you have been invited to the Yawning Portal, a famous pub and inn you've frequented many a time, by a mutual acquaintance, a dwarf named Gerwin Stonewind. He's a Weasley little man who would just as soon stab you in the back than share a bounty. You don't really trust him, but you are a fledgling adventurer, and frankly, you could use the cash that he promised. His request seemed urgent and more furtive than normal. And as you enter the Yawning Portal and Bonnie, a barmaid, shows you to a table in the back, you are greeted by the other adventurers he had summoned. And at this point, why don't we go ahead and describe each other? So why don't we start with Silver Noran?
Silver Noran. So we're just, hanging out at a table?
Just hanging out at a table right now, waiting for Gerwin Stonewind to come and give you some money for something.
Gerwin Stonewind. Always late. Sure, so, Silver is a classically handsome half-elf, a little over 6 feet tall, with a slender but muscular build. He has wavy, pale, blonde, shoulder-length hair, striking blue eyes, and a hearty olive-tanned skin. Silver is very stylish, and his style does indicate a certain level of wealth. He wears fine clothes underneath a suit of silver chainmail, along with an ornate blue cloak with a silver lattice design around its edges. He wears a brooch with the Noran family symbol, which is a night star gleaming over an ocean horizon. And he also wields a shield with the holy symbol of Helm, a staring eye with blue iris on an upright war gauntlet. He's armed with a longsword and 5 javelins in a quiver on his back. So yeah, and he has been kind of aloof over the last couple of hours here, drinking kind of slowly, and probably not in the best of moods, at least at first. He's looking around, and this is probably not a place that he especially wants to be right now. So you all get the sense that he's kind of not fully here of his own volition, so to speak.
Ooh, intrigue. How about Lysandra?
So Lysandra is a tall, fairly tall human, around 6'4", straight-backed. she's, I should say, human-looking. To those in the know, there have been rumors of her ancestry as containing UNT blood, but that is not something that most people will talk about to her face. She is dressed in finery as well. She is wearing a long-sleeved dress made of purple crushed velvet, and she carries with her a black grimoire with a symbol embossed on the front, a chalice engraved with a sun. She herself is looking slightly amused, especially at Silver Naran's discomfort at being here. And she seems quite relaxed, like she's been here before.
Excellent. What about Amelia?
So Amelia's kind of weird looking. She's wearing a lot of clothing. She's wearing a plague doctor mask and this cloak that looks like, upon closer inspections, like it's made out of crow feathers or raven feathers. And then she's wearing long sleeve shirt and is very covered up. But for people who have been watching her, they can tell she's either a full drow or a half drow. Her skin is purple, her hair is white, her eyes are that classic, drow obsidian black. And she's basically just been not speaking at all to anyone. She's been sitting there stiffly in her plague doctor mask, ignoring everyone and occasionally fiddling with a vintage style hypodermic needle, which is probably a little strange.
Yeah.
And it's impossible to tell what she's feeling or thinking because of the plague doctor mask, so you can't even really see her expression at all. And she's been pretty quiet the whole evening, just sipping slightly on ale.
Excellent. And what about Squirm?
Squirm is, if one could sort of hypothetically describe the opposite of Silver in this, pretty much the opposite. He is a 2-foot tall, emerald-scaled kobold with golden eyes. He's dressed comfortably, though not especially well. He's got a coat on. He has sort of a stomach wrap, loose-fitting clothes generally. And more in addition to the, opposite of not particularly tall and statuesque, unless your statues mostly consist of biological examples of a lizard, he's extremely comfortable here. He has been talking to every barmaid that wanders by name. They all also very clearly know him. He's been chatting with some of the patrons who seem like regulars, and generally seems to be having a grand old time. In terms of physical description, like I said, he's a very, very small kobold. He's about 2 feet tall and weighs about 25 pounds. So picture a largish house cat. One of the most prominent things that you would notice about him aren't particularly his clothes, because like I said, they're nice enough, but pretty run-of-the-mill. In the center of his forehead is inset a decently sized diamond, which those of sort of extreme breadth of knowledge might know is the symbol of belonging to the monastery of the Diamond Heart. And on his back, which you can see every so often, is an oddity of a scabbard for probably about a short sword is hanging, but there doesn't appear to be any blade in it. And the scabbard itself is wrapped around with lots of very carefully calligraphically written sort of strips of paper. He also occasionally will be poking Amelia and offering a drink.
And Amelia she doesn't smile that you can see because she's wearing a mask, and she just responds in this monotone voice and will sometimes, accept a drink, but is never really engaging much. But she seems to know Squirm.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, you all now drink and talk and berate Gerwin for being so late. Some of you know each other, as it's been hinted at. The others you've heard of, and they seem like a fascinating sort. And after a couple hours, of which Gerwin has remained absent, you generally forget the little man and just enjoy the company of each other. Strangers who don't seem too caught up in the factional tribulation that is spilled into the streets of this beautiful city. But even the Yawning portal is not immune to the violence of modern times. You sit around a sturdy wooden table lit by a brightly burning candle and littered with plates cleared of food and half-drained tankards. The sounds of gamblers yelling and drunken adventurers singing bawdy songs nearly drown out the off-key strumming of a bard a few tables down. Then, all of the noise is eclipsed by a shout. "Ya pig! You like killing me mates, does you?" And then a 7-foot-tall half-orc woman is hit by a wild swinging punch from a human whose shaved head is covered with eye-shaped tattoos. 4 other humans stand behind him, ready to jump into the fray. The half-orc cracks her knuckles, roars, and leaps at the tattooed figure. But before you can see if blood is drawn, the crowd begins to congeal around this fight, and you don't quite see the people as quickly. What is it you would like to do?
Andy, why is this place called the Yawning Portal?
Well, that's a good question. It is a portal to the dungeons beneath the undermountain of the city. It used to be a very large tower, but has been, because of the defenses were not needed in this area, turned into a lively bar. There is a gigantic portal or pit in the middle of this place that, again, leads down to the under mountain. But this is, pretty normal for what's going on here.
Can I see either the bartender, Durnan, or Bonnie?
Durnan is kind of making his way over to this fight that is taking place right in front of his bar, not too far from you guys.
I'm gonna sort of get
and he's watching, but yeah.
I'm gonna get sort of his attention and like point at myself and at the fight and sort of wave my hands like, does he want me to get involved?
He's kind of looking over stuff, and eventually he looks over at you and kind of nods vigorously.
You're gonna so the others of you are gonna see Squirm stand up and sort of crack his neck. So, want to have a little fun?
Are you asking
Is that a
us?
question?
No, he's not. He's leaving. Okay.
Writhe, you know what to do.
Yep. Bride will stand up and kind of step. She's definitely not following closely behind him, but she's stepping.
From Squirm's perspective, who does it look like is causing more damage to the bar? / is the most likely to do something that's, more than just a little bit of a bar ruckus?
Well, right now, it sort of only looks like there's just 2 people fighting. There's this half-orc woman, and then this human man covered in tattoos. Though his buddies look like they're about to jump in because the half-orc woman is kind of pummeling him pretty hard at the moment. So that looks like it would cause the most ruckus.
Amelia's gonna pull out her heavy crossbow, clearly backing Squirm up.
So Squirm,
Silver will have turned in his seat as Squirm walked away. Like, Silver is... This is probably the first interesting thing that's happened all night, so he will watch for now to see what happens.
As Silver turns to watch, Lysandra is kind of gonna lean over and whisper to him, "You know, as a recent recruit to the Lord's Alliance, he probably wants to try and keep the peace." And she'll sort of gesture towards the fight with her head.
Oh, yes, no doubt, but let's see what happens, shall we?
So the people involved are these ones who are sort of wearing black here. These are just the other two. The one like I'm right next to is just a bystander.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So these two. Yeah. Right. Here.
So Squirm's gonna sort of go up and sort of, gentle morons, you're causing an inconvenience for the other patrons. Squirm.
You have to.
Squirm doesn't want that to happen.
You have to duck as a mug is chucked at you for trying to get in the way of this.
Who chucked it?
Chucked at you by the half-orc woman.
Aha! Silver laughs at that.
That's extremely unnecessary. Squirm is just trying to do his job.
Yeah, so the half-orc woman has now pinned this guy to the ground and is sort of like over and over shoving his face into the bottom of the bar.
Please don't damage the wood.
They're just ignoring you, it seems, at this point. And at this, like, a couple other, like, this guy right here is going to try to shove you aside, and he's going to draw a dagger.
As he goes to do that, like he sort of pushes me sort of to the side and I see the dagger coming out. I would like to, if possible, from behind him, there's just going to be a very solid right cross to the side of his knee.
Okay. Yeah, give me an attack roll.
Is he surprised?
He would be, yes.
Okay.
Is Lysandra
22.
still...
Lysandra probably would, as soon as he Squirm kicks the gentleman, she would say, "I think it's time to steel yourself," and she's gonna rise up from the table. She also casts Mage Armor on herself, but she looks like she's getting ready for any trouble.
So 22 to hit.
Definitely hits.
6 damage.
You send his leg flying up into the air, and he comes toppling down right next to you. Quite.
Silver sighs and stands up next to Lysandra.
I don't know how you want to do that with an action economy. I have bonus action to follow up.
Oh, go ahead.
So as he lands sprawls onto the ground, Squirm is just going to punch straight down at his head with his left hand.
All right.
What am I looking for? 21.
That hits as well, yeah.
7 bludgeoning damage.
Would you like to kill this person or
No. Just KO him.
Okay. Yep. All right. So yeah, he is knocked out completely, and it happened so quickly. You're not even sure if everyone was paying attention to you or the main fight that's going on.
As this happens, and I guess since probably the other occupants of Squirm's table would have been the ones watching him, he's gonna rummage around inside his coat, pull out a bottle, and unstopper the cork with his teeth, and just start pouring it down. Always work.
And at this, the half orc has broken a board in the bottom of the bar here with the other guy's head, and he's unconscious as well, and she now stands up to her full height. Any kind of patrons are backing off at this, but several of what looks to be his mates have now pulled out daggers as well. And at this, Durnan, the barkeep, has walked over a little more and says, "That's gonna be too much blood in here. Take it outside." But as he says this, Shouts of alarm suddenly ring out as a hulking creature climbs out of the pit.
Oh dear.
A monster with warty green skin, a tangled nest of wiry black hair, a long carrot-shaped nose, bloodshot eyes. As it bares its yellow teeth and howls, you can see half a dozen bat-like creatures are attached to its body, with 3 more circling above it like flies. And everyone in the tavern reacts in fear, and except for the barkeep Durnan, who just simply shouts, "Troll!" Leaps over his own bar, pulling out from somewhere back there a greatsword, and is charging toward the portal. What is it you would all like to do?
Which one do you want? Which one do you want
Step
Squirm
back
to
and
deal
train
with?
Crossbow on the troll. I'd probably pretty much start shooting at it right away.
That's fine. So Durnan shouts, "I'll take the troll if you take the other things." So at this point, why don't we go ahead and roll initiative for anyone who would like to get involved?
Fantastic.
Please remember to click on your icons before you click initiative roll.
Also, apologies to anyone listening to the stream if there's background noise. There is a giant lightning storm going on right outside my window.
Yeah.
So you're probably getting some thunder. I'm seeing that appearing on my mic level, but at least it's atmospheric.
At least.
Literally and metaphorically.
Ha ha ha. Get it? Because it's the weather, so it's atmosphere.
Is there supposed to be music playing? I don't hear music.
I hear people talking. Or like
Also
the
true.
hubbub.
And yes. Beautiful. All right. Lysandra, do you have your friend out as well?
No, I do not.
Okay. Then, if you'd like to go first, Lysandra, that's fine. So Durnan is running toward the troll with a great sword. And he says, if you could take care of the little things, that'd be great.
All right. So, what are the what do they look like again? The
They're
little
sort
things?
of bat-like, fleshy creatures with long proboscis.
Ah, I see. So, at Durnan's request, Lysandra will say, absolutely, and will target let's see, this guy. Sorry, I need to paint. That one.
Okay.
And you will hear sort of a Dolores bell ring as Lysandra casts her spell, sort of the bell of judgment.
Ooh. Is this a Toll the Dead?
Yes, it is.
He rolled a 0 on his wisdom. So definitely that hurts. That hurts a lot.
Fantastic. So 7 necrotic.
All right, that is enough to kill it, whatever it was. Its sort of lifeless body kind of floats down into the pit again.
After Lysandra does this, does it actually look like Durnan can take care of this hulking creature? All by himself?
Seen him fight, though you do know trolls are really nasty things. Although the troll it does actually look hurt as well, because it does have about 7 or 8 of those things attached to it. What appears to be sucking blood from it.
Okay, yeah. Well, that is Lysandra's turn, so.
All right, Amelia, what would you like to do?
So Amelia's going to kind of sigh and then step back again and fire at the other, at the bat-like thing that's still above the...
Okay. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-bow.
And I rolled a 10, which probably doesn't hit.
It does not, I'm afraid. This, the bolt from your crossbow just wings right past its head as it's fluttering around very quickly.
Well, fuck. And that's her turn.
Yeah, these almost mosquito-like things are now kind of frantically looking at all the patrons around it. This bard that was playing music has stopped and has backed up as well, away from the pit. Silver.
TJ, could you remind me what Silver saw Lysandra do just now?
So Silver saw Lysandra basically pull out the grimoire that she carries, and it's more that he heard it than saw it, but he saw her gesture towards one of the flying things, and he heard sort of the tolling of a bell, like an executioner's bell, and then he saw it sort of drop to the floor and sort of shrivel.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, Silver would have seen that and or heard it or whatever, and raised his eyebrows, kind of like, oh shit, okay. And yeah, he will kind of begrudgingly, but with determination, move 30 feet toward where the troll and these winged beasts are.
She'll give him an encouraging smile as he passes, like, you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, he'll give kind of a sarcastic smile in return. Like, yeah, this is just exactly how I wanted to spend my night. And yeah, he will. His sword is still sheathed. He's going to go ahead and pull out a javelin and use it as a thrown weapon at the winged creature right above the troll.
All right. I love it. Give me an attack. Oof, I'm afraid an 11 doesn't hit, as this thing again just dodges out of the way and your javelin falls into the abyss of the pit.
That's okay. I've got 4 more where that came from.
All right. Just barely in time to turn around. This poor guy just gets pulled into the pit by the troll, who's basically using him as leverage to fully crawl out of it. Durnan rushes up and strikes at the troll. Ooh, who misses? I'm afraid. So one of the sturge is gonna flap over toward you, Silver. And it's gonna try to lunge at you. Does a 16 hit you? I believe it does not.
Wait, who is this?
At you.
Oh yeah, no, it doesn't hit me.
No, it tries to. You see it coming at you, just barreling down on you with its sharp nose, ready to plunge into your juicy flesh. And just barely in time, you're able to get your shield up in front of it, and so this boom sort of sounds from the shield as it runs into it. Squirm.
Squirm is going to kind of slide through the patron directly in front of him's legs.
Yeah.
Actually, it doesn't even need to slide, assuming it's a human. Squirm just runs.
Gotcha.
And looks up and smiles broadly at Silver. See, Sparkles? Now we're having fun.
Silver frowns at Squirm.
And then Squirm is going to sort of hop onto the back of a chair to launch a kick at the Sturge. I have advantage on that attack because of pack tactics.
Oh, let's do it. Yeah.
Critical hit.
Damn.
That's our first critical hit. And you know what? I don't have my critical hit table. I'm gonna open it up real quick in another game, and
I'll just roll a d20. Or just
roll a d20.
Yeah, and you can just tell me what it is. It's an 8.
An 8. All right. Bum 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 ba da ba bum. Choo 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 ba 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 ba. Sorry.
And this was just with your bare hands, Squirm?
A kick, technically, but yeah.
Ah.
If it had a shield, it would be sundered.
Okay, instead I think I'm going to sunder it for 9.
That's fine. You just splat it out of the air, completely.
Then I'm going to continue my movement. 15, 20, up towards this other one. So I sort of jumped up, hit the back of a chair, did a spin kick, landed on the table, run across, and I'm just going to sort of throw a Superman punch, like a running, jumping punch at this other one.
Yeah.
How do we want to rule the bard? Does he count as an ally for purposes of...
no,
he's
just cowering.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not actually...
Sounds good. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, good call.
21.
21 hits.
5 bludgeoning.
That's enough to splat that one then as well.
Squirm's just going to kind of punch it, catch it as it drops, and take a little bit of a speculative gnaw on the edge of it.
Yeah.
How does it taste?
Gamey. Very gamey. Not gonna lie.
Squirm can deal with gamey.
Yeah, it's a fleshy raccoon taste you would kind of imagine.
Ew.
As Squirm sort of finishes a bite, you're gonna see him offer it to Silver. Eh?
Silver shakes his head and makes a disgusted face at you.
All right, Lysandra.
All right. So Lysandra is actually chuckling because it is hilarious to see Silver becoming more of an Epicurean every moment. Let's see. Lysandra's kind of going to walk almost without urgency, like this is, par for the course, a little closer to the bar over here. Question. How much of this bar is made of combustible material?
It's pretty much all wood, like liquor-soaked wood. So,
Squirm doesn't like this question.
Right. So that means basically she is going to sort of sigh and then almost lazily trace the same pattern in the air, and the bell will toll again over the troll this time, and so DC 13 wisdom save.
9.
So 3 necrotic damage. So it's almost as though you can see the sound waves as the troll sort of gets hit with them, and it starts to sort of rot the flesh on his back a little bit.
All right. Beautiful. Amelia.
So there are no more of the flying things up, right?
Yes, correct. There are no.
So Amelia's
Simply
going to...
I mean, there's several on him, but they're quite content to stay on him.
Good. Amelia's going to then instead point at the troll and kind of mumble something, And honestly, it's not really harder. It's about as hard to understand her normally as it is now. But she mumbles something and fires a ray of frost at the troll.
Ooh. Excellent. Please do this.
And I fumbled on my attack. That's great. I'm having a great game so far.
Why don't I go ahead and roll one more d20 to see how bad you fumbled?
I rolled a 1.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Wow. The dice hate me.
I'm afraid your ray of frost actually slams straight into Silver instead,
Sorry.
causing
So I guess I should
only
roll
one
damage?
damage.
Oh, okay.
Only one damage, yeah. Wow.
Sorry, Silver Man. Didn't quite mean to. You weren't my target. She's saying this in her normal tone of voice, so I'm not sure if you can even hear her over the screams and stuff.
Yeah.
But she is apologizing.
Does Ray of Frost have any other effects? Or is it just
Yes, it slows. Well. Yeah, it reduces his speed by 10 feet until the start of my next turn.
Okay.
At this, Squirm is also going to again shake the dead thing at Silver. Now you want some?
All right. And do you want to move, Amelia, or?
No, I'm okay here.
All right. Amelia, as you do have a second to kind of, now you're looking around a little bit more just to get a better sense of your surroundings. You had seen that a couple of the friends of that one guy that got knocked out are dragging him out of the bar. But no one else is really wanting to step up and try to take on the troll here, except for Durnan. Silver, your turn.
So, yeah, between Squirm offering me Sturge as an appetizer, and getting hit by a ray of frost attack from Amelia. Silver is like just looking around, angry and disoriented, and then looks over to Lysandra and like calls out, "Who are these people you've introduced me to? This is ridiculous."
Lysandra will say, "Priorities, dear. The troll."
Fine. And he'll turn and, with his now reduced speed, fortunately is still able to shiver his way, shaking off little icicles, I guess, maybe from his chainmail, over to the troll, while drawing his longsword.
All right.
And he will go ahead and do a one-handed attack with his longsword.
Please. Oof, a 12 does not hit. As you're getting close, it just sort of roars in your face, and your will isn't quite enough to be able to swing as hard as you need to cut into its flesh. This is actually the most terrifying thing, though, Silver, you've ever come across. It's perfectly natural to have wet yourself just a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you know.
No,
I'm saying it's okay. It's okay if you did.
Probably did.
All right, the troll is going to swing at Durnan. Hitting Durnan pretty hard. Okay. And then it's going to bite at you, Silver. But it can't quite get through your shield or your chainmail again. You're just barely able to hold it back. So Durnan's hurt a little bit. That's terrible. All right, Squirm.
Squirm is gonna sort of sigh as Silver has shuffled away, shivering, chuck the remainder of the body sort of over his shoulder. Once he sees, though, the troll hit Durnan, you're going to see him actually sort of punch his fists together. Don't touch the alcohol, man. And is gonna charge forward.
All right.
I'm gonna say that Durnan certainly counts as an ally. I'm not entirely sure about Silver at this moment in time.
No, I think, they're definitely doing ally things to the trolls. Yeah.
Ally-like things. So again, I'd just like to say, how tall is this troll?
It's about 10.5 feet tall.
Okay, 2 feet tall. I'm probably swinging at the ankle.
All good.
21.
21 does hit. Yeah.
For 4 bludgeoning.
All right. Very nice.
Do I feel like that hurt it?
It hurt it somewhat.
And then I'm gonna follow up with sort of a sweep to the back of its ankle.
All right.
Just working on the joint that I can.
Yo.
11.
11 did not hit.
I, in fact, overestimated the length
sturdy.
of my leg.
Its sturdy weight is preventing you from sweeping it too much.
See, Sparkles? Isn't this better?
Much, I'm sure.
Lysandra.
So does the troll look like bloodied at all?
Absolutely. It had all those sturge sucker things still on it. Those seem to be leeching a lot of power off of this guy, so he does look really hurt.
Okay. In that case, so Lysandra is going to say to Silver, that's the spirit. Isn't this more fun than spending time in your mother's musty drawing room? And is going to cast chromatic orb at the troll.
16 hits.
I choose fire damage.
Damn. Excellent. Yeah, and you hear Durnan. Oh, that's it. That's exactly what we need. We need fire. We need fire or acid or something.
And Lysandra will say, more coming right up.
All right, Amelia.
Amelia's going to kind of stare at her hands in slight disbelief that she so far has been unable to really do anything this battle. Mumble what might sound like a curse word under her breath. And then she's going to move over to stand by Squirm. And she's going to unceremoniously grab his hand.
You're standing by Squirm?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And she's gonna unceremoniously grab his hand and mutter, "Here, you're the only one fucking hitting this thing." And cast Arcane Weapon on his.
That's awesome. Yeah, your tiny little fist then starts to glow with this energy. You feel incredibly strong, Squirm.
What are the effects of that?
I'm trying to click it and it's not showing up for some reason.
Fun. Roll 20.
What's it called again?
Okay, I'm just gonna read it for now. It's Arcane Weapon. I'll figure out what's going on with my spells later. So you channel arcane energy into one simple or martial weapon you're holding and choose one damage type: acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison, or thunder. Until the spell ends, you deal an extra 1d6 damage of the chosen type to any target you hit with the weapon. If the weapon isn't magical, it becomes a
Beautiful.
And as a bonus action, I can change the damage type, choosing from the options above. Right now, I'm choosing fire.
Right. Very nice. Silver.
Silver doesn't really have any access to fire-based attacks, I don't think. He's got some torches, but I don't think he's gonna do that. I think he's just gonna try to attack this thing with his longsword again.
All right, please.
He will make an offended face at Lysandra's remark about his mother's musty draw room first.
A 15 does hit.
Finally. Shaking off that rust. Been a while since Silver did anything with his whip.
That is the rumor on the street, Sparkles.
4 slashing damage.
All right. This thing turns then toward you, Silver, and Squirm. He's gonna try to bite at you, Silver. 15 does not hit you. He's gonna try to claw at you, and an 11 does not hit you. Oh man, you definitely hurt this thing quite a lot. And at this, Durnan plunges his greatsword into the back of this thing, and it's very nearly dead. It's now on one knee. Durnan shouts, "Finish it with fire!" And then steps back. Squirm.
So it clawed at me, and it's sort of sinking to one
Yes.
knee.
Yeah.
So flavor-wise, Squirm is just going to run up its arm.
Okay.
He basically jumped so that the arm went under him, and run up and just try to uppercut it in the jaw.
Excellent.
19.
The 19 hits.
That'll be 4 bludgeoning plus 4 fire.
My friend, that is exactly what you needed. The troll, with the massive punch and uppercut, the troll slumps backwards, his face and hair catching on fire for a slight bit, as it and all of the sturge still attached to it slide down into the pit below. My friends, you have survived.
You're going to see Squirm's shoulders sag slightly. Squirm wanted to try what that tasted like.
All right, you
I'm
are
sure
now
it
out
wouldn't
of
have tasted good.
turn order.
These sturges are gone too.
Yep. Bonnie comes along very quickly. She's pretty used to picking up dead things off the floor now that have crawled out of the pit.
Lysandra is going to sort of brush the frost off of the back of Silver's cloak and say, that wasn't the worst I've seen for a first attempt. Not bad. See, I told you it'd be exciting to come out here tonight. And she'll give him a jaunty little grin.
Yes, well, it was certainly exciting, I can give you that. And I'll wipe off the rest of the frost that Lysandra has helped me to wipe off. Silver will look over to see what. So the guy that the was it an orc, a half orc was beating up?
Yeah.
That guy is gone with his friends?
Yes. Yeah.
So that situation is now calmed down, basically.
Yeah. The half orc comes over to the unconscious guy that you think was with him, and sort of like looks around, and then like starts dragging him out, like after her, and no one's really stopping him. So.
All right.
Squirm's gonna wave jauntily at the half-orc with his hand that is still on fire, functionally. Be like, thank you for your patronage. Please come back to the Yawning portal and stop breaking things next time.
Silver will look. Will turn and look down at Squirm, and he'll say, "Could you remind me your name again?"
Squirm. Why, Sparkles?
Yeah. I won't be calling you that. It's undignified. I think I'll
It's
call
his
you.
name.
Yes, well, he's not using mine now, is he?
I don't
I think
know.
I'll call you Baldy. Yeah, try that out for now.
Wait, what's your name? It's not Sparkly?
No, my name is
Sparkles.
Silver Naran. Silver
I'm not understanding the difference.
Naran of the House Naran.
Yes, the House of Naran, the nouveau riche, the newest addition to the lovely nobles of Waterdeep.
That
but
explains
Silver,
why I haven't heard of them.
Okay. Thank you, Lysandra, for clarifying that. It doesn't really matter, though, now does it? Because I am rich, I am part of the nobility of Waterdeep, and I demand respect.
if you have to demand
Respect
it,
is something you demand. Respect is something you earn.
Amelia
And
speaks the
you
truth.
didn't hit very well in that battle.
Excuse me, what did you say?
Respect isn't something you demand. Respect is something
No,
you
after
earn.
that.
And
After
you
that,
didn't
after
hit.
that.
And you didn't
Right.
hit very well in that battle.
I didn't hit very well, as opposed to you, who hit very well with your frost attack, except it hit me instead of the troll.
Hilarious.
Well done,
Yeah,
Plague Mask.
something's wrong with my targeting tonight.
Bravo! You see a figure bounding up, kind of from the bar. Bravo! And he's just kind of clapping, and he bows low to you. The figure who approached you now strokes his mustache, adjusts his floppy hat, and tightens his scarf. Volothamp Gedam, chronicler, wizard, and celebrity at your service.
Was that
trust-
first thing you said a name?
Yes, my name, Volothamp. My friends call
Sorry?
me Volo.
Volo?
Volo.
Okay.
I trust you've noted the violence in our fair city these past 10 days. Might we have a moment to chat?
Oh, what would Volo want with us?
Well, Volo is interested in all kinds of adventurers and those of heart. Even though this place is crawling with people that could have taken that troll on, only you, and of course Dernan, did it. To me, that speaks highly. Those
I'm not an
actions-
adventurer.
Oh, I didn't say you had to be, but maybe we could talk.
I don't see the harm. Silver, how about we stay here for a little while longer and listen to this fine gentleman's story?
Yes, we can do that, although where is the fellow that we were supposed to meet? Gwendolyn? Guinevere? What's his name?
Gerwin Stonewind?
I must say, he is notoriously unreliable. He probably went to the wrong bar, got drunk, and somebody is robbing him as we speak.
I've heard of
Well-
this Gerwin. That's quite possible, yes.
Sounds
Oh,
like a
you know
lovely
him?
night.
I've heard of him, yes.
Well, Mr. Volo, as a new member of the Lord's Alliance, and as a growing paladin in training of the Lord Helm, and a staunch defender of the city of Waterdeep, I accept your offer for conversation. We'll hear you out.
Oh, good. Well,
Good.
in that case, the paladin has decided, and Lysandra's kind of gonna rib Silver.
Real power move there, Sparkles.
Wait, is his name Silver or Sparkles? I'm
Sparkles.
confused. Okay.
It's Silver. Silver Naran of the House Naran.
He says lots
Oh.
of things, Rive. His name is Sparkles.
Lysandra's gonna whisper into Silver's ear, "Pick your battles, friend. Just take a joke."
So Volo goes over and just plops into the booth that you guys were sitting in.
Squirm is actually sitting on the table at this point.
Squirm, I'm not sure you're supposed to sit on tables. I
Vernon,
think
it's
humans
fine,
might
right?
find that bad manners.
Oh, I don't mind at all.
So, Mr. Volo, what do you have to say to us?
Well, you've noticed the violence in the streets. hopefully. I try to keep my head down now and then. I'm writing a book, actually. But that's neither here nor there. I now fear that I've misplaced a friend of mine amidst this odious malevolence.
Misplaced.
Is your friend
Yes.
incapable of independent locomotion?
Well
No,
put,
no.
small one.
Quite capable of that, though I'm afraid he's got caught up in something. My friend's name is Floon Blagmar. He's got more beauty than brains, and I worry he took a bad way home a couple nights ago and was kidnapped. Or worse.
Maybe your friend fell into the Yawning portal.
I doubt that. He doesn't frequent here that often. It's a bit of a rough establishment, as you've seen. And he's certainly not a fighter. But
He's
if you-
probably dead. It's okay.
Oh, well, I hope not. In fact, that's what I'd like to talk to you about. If it's possible to track him down with due haste, I can offer you 10 dragons apiece. I give you 10 times that when you find Floon. But I'll give you 10 each right now.
Andy, what is 10 Did you say dragons? Dragoons?
I did. Dragons is the gold currency of water.
Okay.
So 10 gold pieces.
And he's offering us 100 gold pieces each when we find him?
Yes.
Wow.
Well,
May I prevail you in my hour of need?
well, that depends. Who kidnapped him and why?
That I don't know.
So we should just search the entire city?
Oh, no, of course not. No,
You proceed logically. You start at where he was last seen and move from there. Search his residence, etc. I mean, honestly, it would be a waste of time to search the whole city. The city is huge.
the city
Rightly
is
so.
huge. Yes. Well, what do you want to know? I last saw him a couple of nights ago at the Skewered Dragon. It's an inn in the Docks district. I was having a bit of writer's block, and I went out for a drink with him. We gambled a few hours, and then I left, and that was the last time I saw him.
Was he acting normal that night?
I'd say so, yes.
What makes you think he was kidnapped?
Well, neither I nor any of his friends have seen him since then.
And
He's
again,
not one to go into hiding. He's quite flamboyant.
did he have any associations with either of the two feuding factions?
No, not that I know of. Of course, the more artistic types in town like to stay away from such things. We're not fighters.
Does he know anything about swords?
Probably.
Does he know anything about alcohol?
Oh, definitely. Yes.
What type of artist is Floon Dagmar again?
Oh, he's a painter. He's painted a few of my drawings of monsters that I've come across in my travels.
So you'll pay me 10 dragons just to agree to help to find your friend?
Of course, and if you find him, 10 times that.
Well, normally that amount of currency wouldn't mean much to me, but in my current situation, I'll look at Lysandra, kind of give her a knowing look, because
I thought you were rich.
I am rich. I'm just temporarily hard up. So, Mr. Volo, I will be happy to lend my services again, because I am indeed Sylvan Naran of the House Naran, member of the Lord's Alliance, and I'm here to maintain order in the city of Waterdeep and that is, I guess, my life now. So
For the entire speech of that, Squirm was doing, like, miming a hand puppet with the flaming hand.
Silver didn't see
Lysandra
it.
would have smiled at that.
So,
Well, I'm glad the House Naran is behind such things.
Oh, have you heard of them?
Yes?
Really?
Yes, lovely house. Great house. One of the best. Top 10.
I don't think they're the top 10. He said they were new. Or she did. Someone did.
The newest top 10 under 30 years. Here.
Oh,
I'm sure of it.
all right.
that wasn't so much a
Indeed.
sentence as an assemblage of nouns.
That is very
Oh,
true,
but-
Master.
Mr. Volo is right. Just last year, I messed this up. Hold on. Just last year, the House Naran was ranked one of the top new nobility families in Waterdeep by Waterdeep magazine. Does such a magazine exist, Andy?
Yes.
There is now.
There is no.
There you go.
Well, that's nice.
Aren't those rankings normally based on who's paid for the most advertisements?
You got it.
Anyway, Mr.
Oh, is
Volo.
that why you don't have any money?
No.
Anyway,
His family has money, is what he means.
I,
At any rate.
Oh.
I was going to specify. I'm sure Sparkle's House Naran of the House Naran of the lineage Naran, has plenty of money. Sparkle's, on the other hand.
Wait, I'm confused.
Bonnie comes up to the table and says, "Oh, dear loves, you need a drink or anything? Top her off."
Always.
I think I could do with one before we went.
Same old stuff. We're going to move up to a higher shelf here.
I will settle for the same, yes.
Silver, you notice Volo kind of looking in his pockets and then shaking his head and putting his purse back in. "Oh, none for me, thank you."
But anyway, your friend you suspect kidnapped at the Skewered Dragon a couple nights ago down in the Docks District. Artist,
Yeah.
pretty but stupid. Squirm is going to stop and very slowly roll his eyes towards Silver. And then bring his focus back to Volo. Any reason you think that he might have been kidnapped? As opposed to, say, disemboweled and had his purse stolen?
Well, no, except no one's found a body or anything, and I don't know. Holding out hope, I'd say.
If we find him in that condition, would you still pay us? I mean, it is possible that his body just hasn't been found.
It's true. I would be very sad about it, but Volo does not welch on his deals. I would pay you the same.
Squirm will stride across the table and offer a flaming hand.
He'll shake it. Oh, masterful.
Deal.
and Mr. Volo
Yes, Volo.
can wait. Is it Volo or Volo?
Volo. It's fine.
Volo. Yes. How can we be sure that Volo can afford to pay us?
Well, surely you've read my book, Volo's Guide to Monsters, and
It
I'm
was-
working on a new one.
It was fantastic, yes. I almost believed half of it.
Oh, well, thank you. That's more than there was there.
Oh yes, I think I read the cliff notes of that.
I'm quite famous. Ask anyone in here.
He is well known, yes. I think, though, regardless of the money, I do think it would be instructive for you. And she'll sort of raise her eyebrows at Silver.
I want to do an insight roll on whether he actually can afford to pay us what he's promised.
Certainly, yeah.
With a 17 insight roll.
Ooh, 17. Yes. So Volo is very concerned about his friend, you can tell. Though might be stretching the truth about how much he has liquid on him. Yeah, is what you would guess.
Cool. Silver will just note this in his mind and roll his eyes, and with a little toss of his hair behind his head, he'll extend his hand to shake Volo's hand.
Oh, masterful.
But he'll hold the grasp for just a moment and look in Volo's eyes and say, 100 dragons. Yes?
Yes, of course.
Excellent. The House of Naran looks forward to doing business with you. And he'll let go of his hand.
Excellent. And he'll look over at the other two.
Which other two?
Lysandra and Writhe.
I mean, my youthful charge is going out, and I go where he goes. So, who's up first?
Masterful.
God, your life sounds terrible.
I guess I have to eat, so I'm in.
What was that?
I guess I have to eat, so I'm in.
Oh, excellent. Well, here's 10 gold now, and he places 10 gold for each of you on the table. I will be here every evening. Just come find me, and if you bring Floon, all the better.
Remind us, when is the last time you saw him? 2 nights ago?
Yes, 2 nights ago.
Cool. Andy, what time is it in the world?
So it's about 3 in the afternoon.
Lysandra would probably want to wait at least until it started getting darker.
Does Lysandra have a reason why?
I mean, she would probably say that she'd need to recuperate her energies. It means TJ needs a short rest, is basically what it means.
You could wait an hour if you want. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah, Lysandra would probably suggest that we finished our drinks and then head over to the docks district.
Well, excellent. It's a small tavern, Skewered Dragon, between Net Street and Fillet Lane.
Having grown up and lived in the city my entire life, would I know if that's a nasty area?
It is a bit rougher. Yeah, it is.
Is it known territory for anybody?
Zentarum definitely have their fingers in a lot of pies down there.
Okay. Lysandra would say this to Silver at the very least, but she'd say it to the entire group, but she doesn't know how well versed you guys.
They all scream when their knees break.
Very true.
Everyone screams when their knees break.
I think that is at the heart of his philosophy.
I think you're right.
Well,
We are in agreement.
it depends on how one defines Squirm's philosophy, because the Diamond Heart is really more about a dialectic between... Anyway, yeah. Where's my alcohol?
She never came back with it. I think she's cutting you off.
No, definitely Bonnie would come back. And as you sort of leisurely drink, Volo is getting more and more anxious that you're not leaving, but understands if you need just a bit of a rest after that fight. So this counts as a short rest.
Awesome.
Who's paying for the drinks?
I'm not
Bonnie would like to
drinking.
know.
I'm paying for mine.
I'd probably pay for... I'd definitely pay for mine, obviously, but...
Although I also think that the troll fight probably counted as paid labor for me. So that probably just offset my tab.
Agreed. Durnan kind of shakes and wipes the tab clean.
I'm trying to decide how much Silver has drunk tonight or today.
Yeah, it's like
so
mid-afternoon.
I was gonna say, well, he is a noble. If you started ordering too many, Lysandra probably would have said something. Unless you pre-gamed.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm definitely... I mean, it's been a while since Silver has been here, but I wonder, how long has Bonnie worked here, Andy?
Bonnie's been here she's been here at least a year or so. She's definitely one of the regular barmaids.
Does Silver know Durnan so the last time Silver would have stepped in here into the Yawning portal would have been about 4 years ago. Was Durnan here at that point?
Yes, definitely.
So Silver probably has a tab here for the House Naran.
Yeah.
And so whatever drinks he had, he would have charged to the family tab.
All right. Sounds good. Then, my lovelies, what would you like to do?
And with a short rest, we can expend hit dice
Yes.
to restore hit points.
If you want, yes.
You are level 1, so
Yeah.
you only have...
But it also means whenever you
Yeah,
take a long rest, you get that one back.
Right, yeah.
I get the hit dice back, yeah. I guess I might I only lost 1 hit point, but I am going to... I don't know. I'm gonna in character as Silver, like he doesn't like any discomfort.
Yeah.
And so he did use this short rest to like get back to feeling tip top.
All right.
So I roll it doesn't really matter because either
Minimum value is a 1.
Yeah.
but just so I know, I would roll a D10, right?
Yes.
And add your constitution to it per D10 that you roll.
Yeah. So you would gain 6. Yeah. But
Nice.
you're back up to 13. I love it.
If we're getting sort of near the end of the long rest,
Short rest.
Sure.
Yeah.
or sorry, short rest. Squirm would sort of flag Bonnie down, and be like, "Get Squirm a couple for the road."
Oh, of course, love.
Usual.
Oh, you got it. Excellent. And she comes back with 3 kind of smallish bottles, like sake bottles almost.
Yep. And you're going to see Squirm sort of put those into his cloak. How much are those? He generally, like, the usual for the road would not be extremely expensive, mostly just strong.
Yeah. She says, let's say it's worth a troll killing.
Ha! Thank you.
So, Lysandra, can I call you Lysandra?
You may.
Is finding kidnapped painters an appropriate task for a member of the Lord's Alliance?
The painter is less important than, how shall we say, a man like Volo, who is incredibly well connected. If we help him, something tells me it will pay off.
Is Volo still sitting with us?
Yup. Just tapping the table. I have a friend named Floon Blagmar. I don't know where he is.
Right.
Squirm
Well, then I
remembers the
guess-
specifics.
I suppose we should get to it. But I'll look at Volo, and I'm very purposefully taking my time. I'm going to finish my last drink with one long, slow gulp while looking Volo in the eyes.
Attaboy, Sparkles.
I couldn't thank you enough. We appreciate it all.
Lysandra will excuse herself and say goodbye to Volo as well.
All right.
Squirm will hop off the table and pat
as you're
pat Writhe.
Yeah. Nice. As you're leaving the Yawning portal, Silver and Lysandra, you do recognize someone else who's been here, and that's Jalister Silvermane, who's kind of been here in the corner.
Oh, where? What corner?
Been sitting down here.
And remind me, his
someone somewhat far up in the Lord's Alliance.
I will. When Silver sees him, he'll kind of look to Lysandra and kind of shrug, like, "Should I go say hi to him?"
Lysandra will sort of give an equally non-committal shrug, like, do what you want. But she will, if she can catch Jalister's eye, she'll sort of wave demurely at him and sort of smile at him in recognition. Like, she knows that he usually is.
Yeah. Yep. And so, yeah, he kind of, like, quickly kind of nods at you again. You kind of get the sense that he doesn't really want a lot of company. He's sitting alone at a table with a book and a writing utensil.
All right, I'll take the hint.
Silver does not take the hint.
If he does look like he's gonna walk past, Lysandra will place her hand gently on his shoulder and say, "We have more pressing matters at hand."
Yes, but he's my superior officer, and I want to make sure he saw when I stabbed that troll with my sword.
Oh, we all saw. We did, especially after you yelled about being hit in the back with that ice.
Hilarious.
It was very cold. Listen, Lysandra, I thought your job was to help me make connections and learn how to be a noble figure in Waterdeep to the best of my abilities. I don't see why I shouldn't go and make sure I make an impression on my superior officer.
Because you already have, and that impression was that you are not important enough to come over here and compliment.
Oh,
That
burn.
Silver's mouth will hang open for a moment.
That should take care of any residual problems from the ice.
If any lesson can be learned from tonight, it's that you don't have to tell people that you are a hero. You just have to prove it. Now, let's go prove it, shall we? And she'll raise an eyebrow.
Smack. That's awesome.
She says says that in a soothing way, because it probably looks like he's about to hit her.
No, he's not used to being talked to this way by anybody other than his mom. And he'll just kind of turn and compose himself and like nod and kind of act with his shoulders a little bit. That probably doesn't make any sense, but yeah.
You're a kobold, correct, Galway?
Squirm's the kobold.
Squirm, I'm sorry.
Galway's a human.
Galway's a human.
Galway's a pair of raccoons in a human suit.
I'll say, I guess, in Draconic to you, getting better all the time.
I feel like I've also been progressively moving towards the door.
Oh, yeah, no, we were in the process of walking.
Okay, I'll look back up at you in a Draconic. Sure, but that's a long, winding, thorny, sun-bleached road.
I wonder if Silver heard that.
In Draconic?
Yeah. I mean, if he heard it, he understood it.
Aha. All right. So you all step out of the Yawning portal back into the city of Waterdeep. And I assume you're going to want to...
Always scrolls desperately to get to where we are.
Yeah. So if you wanted to, you can make your way south. Basically along this kind of main street here. The Yawning portal is down here.
Or
Skewer Dragon, yes.
As we're walking, as we're leaving the Yawning portal, Silver will kind of try to move on from the offense that he took at Lysandra's remark. And he'll kind of over casually say, ask the group, so where do you all live and sleep?
You know, here and there, as one does.
As one does.
I trust that you know where I live and sleep.
Why are you interested in where we sleep?
Oh, just interested in our fair city of Waterdeep and where people live and sleep. So, yes, here and there. And Lysandra, I, of course, know where you live and sleep, but why don't you share with the group? Because I don't think Amelia or Baldy know. Right?
I mean, I don't think I know.
Who
knows what
I'm gonna look at Lysandra and in Draconic. Is he having a stroke?
Lysandra will say in comment, no, it's fine. I'm from the House Jade Grin. We are humble scholars and tutors to the fine nobility, and she'll sort of look and smile wryly of the city. But it is not about me or about him.
I'm not sure you've done a very good job with him so far.
Does Amelia speak Draconic?
I don't remember, but Silver wouldn't know that either. But Lysandra said that she responded. Lysandra said she responded in common.
Yeah, she responded in common.
Oh, I didn't catch that. Okay, sorry. My bad. Okay, cool.
But it is not about who we are or how well known we are. In fact, and Lysandra is going to take out a short strip of cloth and sort of cover up the bottom half of her face. And she'll say, Silver, you might want to do this as well. Sometimes discretion is the better part of these kinds of matters, particularly in
That's
an
why
area
I'm
like
wearing
the
this
docks.
mask.
It is quite fashionable, I must say.
You want me to do what?
Well, you see what I did with it.
What did you do with it?
It's tied around the bottom half of my face to obscure my features.
You're using a scarf like a muffler, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Squirm is going to pull the hood on his coat up over, and it's actually rather deep.
Silver will look at each of you in turn and just furrow his brow and say, no, my face is one of my best features, and I will not be hiding it from the people of Waterdeep. They deserve to see who is here to protect them. Now, how many couches do you all own?
Lysandra is going to cut him off and say, so, there are a good many Zentarum where we are going, and I don't know if they are going to be too pleased with our presence. If they aren't, your face will not be one of your finer features. I think it's probably smart to wear this, and she'll actually start to tie it for him. Trust me, I know it's best.
It may not even still be one of your features.
Silver will very dejectedly allow her to do this. And then say, any nice guest rooms?
I don't own any rooms or any couches. I sleep here and there, like I told you.
As one does.
As one does.
Silver looks very uncomfortable and annoyed at both Amelia and Squirm, and
Lysandra will sort of whisper in his ear, "Try talking about ideas, not the things you own. That might be more interesting."
oh man,
I love this character.
As you turn a corner, actually, you find yourself on a street that has been cordoned off by the city watch. Lying on the cobblestones are half a dozen corpses, seemingly the victims of some terrible skirmish. Watch officers have disarmed and arrested 3 blood-drenched humans and are in the midst of questioning witnesses. One of the officers sees you and says, "Get on! Nothing to see here."
One, that's clearly false. There is something to see here, otherwise you wouldn't exist or would be invisible. 2,
There's something
we're
to see
trying
everywhere.
to. You're kind of blocking where we're going.
Okay, over there. Just take that side street, and you'll come back around. It's fine.
say what happened here?
So Lysandra will again whisper in his ear, "Remember not to draw attention."
They're the ones drawing our attention, aren't they?
Look, it's another Zentarum Xanathar fuck up, alright? Just head around it. We'll be done quick. Make way, and now a cart is coming over.
Yeah.
And he lets it through to start loading up some of the dead bodies.
Lysandra's gonna start sort of walking that way generally, although she will be trying to catch a glimpse of what's going on as she walks.
Indeed. Yeah.
I'm gonna call to him. Who won this one?
Well, Xanathar had a couple people left alive, but I don't know. Hard to tell.
I'm just gonna. Squirm's gonna sort of chuckle at that. That'll make old Williams back at the bar happy. I'm pretty sure he had them in the pool.
All right. You make your way around, and as you do, the figures that are still standing or that have been arrested are just kind of like eyeing all of you, just like really frowning and grimacing and trying to maybe look under cloaks and look into eyes and recognize faces.
In the moment before, like after, like Lysandra starts to walk away, Silver would have also tried to like see if there were any notable details about the scene. I don't know if that's worth an investigation check or a perception check.
Oh yeah, give me a perception check real quick. Yeah. With an 18, you did see several of the bodies had those large eye tattoos, and that one of the people arrested has a large snake tattoo etched into his forearm. And you've seen that symbol before, though you can't quite place exactly its meaning.
I've seen which symbol before?
The snake tattoo.
And I saw the large eye tattoo. That was on one of the people in the Yawning portal, right? The guy getting beaten up by the orc?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
And the watchman specified that the Zentarum won this fight, right?
No, they had a couple. The Xanathar had a couple extra people alive, but one of these guys might have been Zentarum, and the other two Xanathar. You're not sure.
And both the large eye tattoos and the snake tattoos are on their heads.
The snake tattoo's on the forearm of one of the dudes arrested. Yeah.
And Silver feels like he's seen the snake tattoo before, or the symbol, but he can't place what it is.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. As you continue, tall, densely packed tenements leave most of the neighborhood in shadow at ground level. Most of the street lamps have their glass smashed and their candles stolen. And the smells of salt air and excrement linger as you pass by rows of run-down buildings in this area. One shop nearby stands out from the others. It has a deep purple facade, and in its window hangs a stuffed beholder. Above the door hangs a sign whose elaborate letters spell out, Old Zablob Shop.
A stuffed beholder?
Yes.
Like an actual beholder or like a stuffed animal?
Animal in the shape of a beholder.
Yeah, looking upon, like it looks more cartoony than anything. So you're pretty sure it's not
It's
a real
a plush doll of
Yes,
a beholder.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, I was going to say, that's impressive.
Presumably, Andy, Silver has never been in this part of the city.
Right, probably not. Yeah.
And could you drop
so he'll be
that shop name in chat? Sorry.
The Zablob.
Yeah, because I wasn't even gonna try to spell.
Yeah.
So as Silver is looking around at his surroundings, and he'll kind of mutter to Amelia, so is this one of the here's or one of the theirs by any chance?
Not right now, but it has been in the past. It's perfectly serviceable.
Maybe for you, not for me.
I know.
No.
Simply nowhere to wash your hair.
I will ignore that and
Not
quicken
that
my
far
pace.
from the river. That's not a river. That's a harbor.
The Zablob shop just kind of stands out because it's relatively
actually
well
nice.
put together.
And it's purple and it's not run down and yeah.
Do I know anything about it?
Give me a history check.
I did not have advantage. 7.
No, not really. Yeah, it seems to have kind of cropped up fairly quickly the last few weeks here.
Okay.
And then Amelia, as you pass by the beholder, you feel weird, like almost like this stuffed beholder is like watching you. Kind of go by it.
I'm
Almost
going
as
to
if its
glare at
eye-
it as I pass it, but
It's-
probably
yeah.
no
And
one
for
can tell
those
I'm
of you-
glaring at it.
Right. For those of you who don't know, a beholder is a gigantic monstrosity, just like a ball-shaped thing with one gigantic eye in the middle and a gigantic maw, and then like somewhere between 3 to 10 stalks of eyes, kind of protrude out the top, sort of it.
As we move south, I will say that anybody who would happen to look at Silver's eyes might notice that they've kind of changed slightly, to like a more kind of greenish, slightly greenish shade of blue, like blue greenish. Just saying.
Beautiful.
I mean, is it still light outside?
It is, yeah. It's probably about 5 now, you'd think maybe.
Okay.
But you pass by the shop and you're heading toward the Skewered Dragon, I believe.
Yep.
Yes.
At least that's where Squirm's going.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you kind of get it around here. So the Skewered Dragon looks like a ruin, basically. Both of its front-facing windows are smashed. There's a ship's anchor lodged in the roof. And through the windows, you can see a group of haggard patrons drinking from huge tankards.
Squirm
If
likes.
Volo is so respected, why was he drinking in a place like this?
Actually, would I know, Andy, if would I know anything about Volo and why he'd have been here?
Maybe give me give me a history check.
Okay. History.
An 8. So with an 8, you're not exactly sure. I mean, Volo hangs out in some seedy places, you would know. Mostly what he would say is because of academic curiosity. Though that may not be the whole story.
Okay, I mean, sometimes Volo does like to slum it. He does like hobnobbing around adventure. I mean, his books are full of it. Real and imagined.
It's true. Very true.
I think Aeson had me read that book. I don't really remember. I must have skimmed it.
So do you enter the skewered dragon?
Lysandra will if nobody else, if like we're all
Is there
waiting.
a door, or is Squirm going in through a window?
There is a door, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go in. You said there were giant tankards of presumably alcohol.
Yes, definitely.
Squirm's super okay with this place.
Lysandra
Yeah,
will sort of follow after.
Nice.
Yeah,
it's looks like it's basically filled with just these dock workers that are probably at this point between shifts and getting a drink fairly quickly at this place. There's no music. It's run down. Everyone just kind of looks tired.
Yeah, I'll go in. Who or what is Nixa? Do we know that yet?
Well, no, you guys. Honestly,
Okay.
it's my familiar, so we're good. But she'll come out of
Okay.
Oh, it's not with us right now? Because it's just
No,
on
no.
the map.
No.
Okay.
She's in her pocket dimension currently.
Just making sure.
All right, so you stride on in.
Does there seem to be an obvious bartender?
Not really an obvious one, no. It almost looks like several of the patrons have gotten drinks on their own at several times. There's one guy sitting at the bar, pouring over what looks to be some sort of ledger of some sort.
I'm giving a pause to see if anyone else is going to initiate any form of questioning a way that isn't the way that Squirm is going to initiate questioning.
I mean, Lysandra's probably looking around for the least shady-looking person. Do you want a perception roll for that?
No, that's fine. Yeah, there's an elven woman sitting in the corner. She's drinking alone and kind of has her head down, but she looks fairly well put together.
Amelia is going to look around for the most shady-looking person and approach them.
Oh, good.
Right, yeah.
Two-pronged attack.
That's a couple of dwarves. One of them is just putting fish hooks in the other one's ear.
Nice.
Silver's looking around, just disgusted at where he has turned up and where his life has taken him.
Are you hiding this?
No.
So Lysandra is gonna indicate that you should follow her toward the elf, and in a very, very quiet tone say, "Don't say anything. Just do as I do." And then she'll walk and sit down she won't sit down. She will approach the elf, but we can do that in sequence.
Yeah, because I'm going to be heading over to the dwarves.
Silver
I'm heading to the
will
bar.
Follow Lysandra. And Squirm's headed for the bar.
Nice. All right. Yeah. Please initiate as you will.
All right, so I guess Lysandra going to go up and stop a respectful distance away from the elven woman and say, I guess in common, excuse me, my lady, would you happen to know, I am looking for someone named Floon.
Oh, a Floon? I don't know anyone named Floon. Leave me alone.
Very well. Does she seem like super sad?
A bit,
Or
yeah,
just drunk?
a bit depressed, yeah.
I'm gonna. Oh, are you not done yet? Okay, keep going.
I'm
just
doing
gonna-
this roll on whether she actually doesn't know Floon. And I critted.
Oh my god. Are you actually like staring in her?
Yeah, you're just staring at her. You like go over and you're just like beady eyes are locked on her. You can tell she's lying. She just wants to be left alone.
Mm-hmm. Message cantrip, Lysandra. Oh, wait, damn it.
Do that.
Mm-hmm.
Best gold I've ever spent in D&D.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I don't know what Lysandra's what is her response to this elven woman saying that what she said?
I mean, Lysandra was sort of looking around to see where the other party members had gone. She looked like she was going to walk away, generally to look for somebody else to talk to.
Gotcha. Silver would just linger where he kind of followed you over to, but I don't think he's going to necessarily do or say anything right away, so we can see what Amelia's up to, maybe.
All right. Yeah.
So I'm gonna approach the dwarves. Nice fish hooks.
Oh, thanks. My mate, he got 15 in the other day. I'm trying to beat his record.
Impressive.
Oh,
You come here often?
you're trying to pick me up, lassie.
I mean, the fish hooks are
just
quite
know that-
impressive.
Just know that underground everything seems a little larger. You know what I'm saying?
Including fish hooks?
I suppose so.
I'll keep that in mind. Were you here 2 nights ago?
Aye, that's when we beat my old record. 12 fish hooks.
Wow. How many does he have in him right now?
7.
Do you think you're going to be able to get past that?
I think so. I got a good drink. I got the will. And if you cheer me on, lassie, I got a little bit more going on.
Sure. That's good. Can I help insert the fish hooks?
No, he's got it here. That's fine.
Are you sure? I'm very good at stabbing things.
Oh, well, you give it a try. Maybe later I could return the favor.
With fish hooks.
No, with my penis.
Oh. I'm more interested in the fish hooks.
Oh! His friend shakes his head.
Sorry. Was there someone named Floon here 2 nights?
Floon? No, we don't say very easily who comes in and out of this place. No one really comes here to be known, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, yes, I understand completely. If I can stick more fish hooks in you than 12, will you tell me what you know about Floon?
I mean, yeah, of course.
Great.
Get out of the way, Samson. And he pushes his friend out of the way and points to his ear.
So she's going to start methodically sticking fish hooks into his ear.
How did we end up here?
Give me 3 sleight of hand rolls, please. I do believe you have guidance. this would be something you could use.
I do. I think I'd probably use guidance on myself each time. That's a it's a D4, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Whee! And then give me 3 sleight of hand rolls. Add a D4 to each of them. Ooh, first one is an 18. You're able to get a few of them in really well, really close together. Yeah. A 17. You're able to flip his ear over and get more in from the back than you thought you would. Wow, and a 12. You're able to place several if you just pull on his earlobe quite a lot. And that is a total of 16 fish hooks that you put in this guy's ear.
There you go.
He's slamming his fist on the counter, and it hurts so much.
Impressive that you can tolerate it.
Yeah. But the guy with the ledger then comes over and sits down and starts counting each of them methodically. And then writes down, "Yep, 16. You win. You beat him." And the guy slaps a drink upside his face, spilling half of it on his giant black beard. Slams it back down and says, "Lassie, I'll answer anything you want."
Right. Was he here 2 nights ago?
Floon, yeah, Floon. Floon was he was a pretty boy, and he came in with Volo. Aye, but he didn't leave with Volo, did he? No, he didn't.
Did he leave with anyone?
He did. He left with So Samson, what's that bloke's name? His dad used to do the thing. And he says, Rainer. He's like, yeah, that's it, Rainer Neverember. Now that name should sound familiar.
Does it? I've lived here for a while.
It does. Neverember was the former Open Lord of Waterdeep. And he has a son named Rainer. Now, the Open Lord of Waterdeep, after the last election, where Laerel Silverhand has now taken his place, he had then fled to Neverwinter, down to the north. But his son Rainer seemed to have stayed behind, and so it seems like Rainer was meeting with Floon that night.
How did it seem? What was their demeanor towards each other?
Jovial. They were drinking. They were playing several games of Three Dragon Ante. They left around. I think it's around midnight. They took off. That's the last I heard of him, though.
Any indication where they were going?
No idea. But they haven't come back. That's all I know.
All right, thank you. You've been a lot of help with the fish hooks and the questions.
No, you've been a lot of help, lassie. Thanks for the fish hooks.
Was Squirm going to be questioning anybody during this time?
I was going to have been questioning the guy with the ledger, but apparently he's just come over and is keeping records.
Okay. Well, during that time, Silver would have probably, honestly, shortly after Lysandra started kind of looking around for the other party members, Silver wouldn't have waited too long, actually. He would have ignored what Lysandra instructed him to do.
Of course, yeah.
Upon realizing or intuiting that this woman was lying and just wanted to be left alone, Silver would sit down across from her and kind of grin at her with his hands with his arms kind of back against the back of the seat, and he would say, "Hi, Silver Naran of the House Naran."
Do you say like this in a normal tone voice? Your face is covered and you're introducing yourself.
Yeah, Silver.
From the bar, you are going to hear Squirm go, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
Lysandra's gonna wheel around as you say your name, but continue.
That might be. I don't know if that's Adam making that mistake or Silver making the mistake. But honestly, like, I guess let's lean into it. Like, for Silver, like, he's not used to having to hide his identity.
Sure, yeah.
And right now, like, he wants to get information from this woman, and he is wanting to use his charm and his status to convince her that, that to give him the information he wants. So he has he hasn't taken off the what is it, like a,
it's like a balaclava thing, basically.
He hasn't removed that because he's forgotten that he's wearing it, but he does say Sylvan around the house and around, and like is trying to flash her like his trademark charming like grin, which presumably she does not see.
So go ahead and give me a persuasion roll. I'm gonna say not with disadvantage because this is weird. But all right, an 8. She says, "Piss off, rich kid. Had a bad day.
The grin will disappear from his face. Again, nobody sees this. And then he'll say, and he'll lean forward, and he's changing tacts now, and he'll say, "Yes, well, your day's about to get a lot worse if you don't tell me what you know about Floon Dagmar."
Lysandra takes an imperious step towards him.
Why don't you give me an intimidation roll on that?
Oh no! Like the thing is, she's almost. Oh,
no, I think it's from Silver.
Yeah, from Silver. Yeah.
Okay, no.
But in the meantime,
Lysandra's doing it.
Lysandra's stepping toward him.
Probably he doesn't notice because it's like the school marm thing.
Yeah.
Ugh, an 8 intimidation. God.
She's just frowning at you, and she kind of takes out a knife, stabs it into the table in front of her, and then just glares at you.
Was her comment about bad day and like piss off audible to Squirm at the bar?
Probably, yeah.
Has Squirm been able to figure out how to pour a draft of alcohol?
Yeah. The guy with the ledger evidently is like watching you and like marking down how much you take.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna pour out basically 2 mugs pour out a second mug after that. I had a bad day, piss off, and then just Silver still has time to do other things, but I'm now sort of like walking towards the table, holding 2 giant like steins of ale or of undescribable alcohol.
All right.
Yeah, at the dagger hitting the table, Silver puts his hands up, kind of palm forward, and he says, "All right, okay. Sorry." And then, not knowing what else to do, he will revert to the comfortable, like, arms like relaxed behind him pose, and return to grinning his charming grin
under a mask,
behind his mask, and we'll just watch her, just hoping that going back to being charming might help.
So I'd say at this, Squirm is going to get over to the table, drop or like place both steins on the table. This is how you help a bad day. Piss off, Sparkles.
She's still glaring at Silver, but she takes both mugs and slides them to herself.
Oh. That's fine. Look.
Little one's right. This is how you have a bad day.
So both 2 questions. First, why such a bad day? Second, if you did happen to know anything about Floon, I don't know, pretty but stupid, it would be most helpful for that information to pass along to us. Helpful in the type of way that results in more alcohol.
Yeah, well... Okay, so... I had a bad day. I had a couple friends die. You might have passed them on the way here.
Oh, yeah.
Squirm
saw that.
Shit's getting kind of crazy out there.
Does she have a large eye tattoo anywhere, Andy? That I can see?
Not that you can see, no. Okay. You can give me a perception check if you want to really look harder at her. A 3. She sees you though, ogling her like up and down, and it just kind of gives you a disgusted look.
Squirm's gonna look up. Haven't you done enough, Sparkles?
Does Silver? Okay, Silver gets the sense now that he really isn't helping, so he will nod and stand up from the table and go over to the bar, and he's going to try
not more than a foot behind you is Lysandra looking at you with the most imperious, like, you've been caught glare, like you've done something very, very wrong.
Do you follow me to the bar?
I do.
Yeah, I will. I'll get to the bar and I'll say, "Do you want a drink?"
I will proceed while Squirm is having his conversation to explain to you in very fine detail why you are a moron for what you just did.
Okay.
Yeah, well, Silver will be nodding at everything you say, but I guess so. He has to get his own drink here.
Jesus.
He's looking around. No, he has his hand up in the air, like with a single finger up, and he just leaves it up, waiting for a bartender to come give him a drink, while he's looking at Lysandra and looking around and listening to her. He just has one finger in the air.
Oh.
Like a Squirm, you see the guy with the ledger, like kind of look up at him and then just sort of shake his head and look back down. Just ignoring him. But then Squirm, she after she downs one of the entire tankards, she says, "You know, I was here the other night when that Floon and that Rainer were here. And yeah, they left together, but there were some other people that left with them. Like there was like 5 of those Zent motherfuckers that went out with them."
In a convivial, let's all go have a good time together, or in a, you don't look like you're using your kidneys right now?
The second one.
That's what Squirm thought, yeah.
That's 5 of the Zentarum people.
Silver shout that from the bar.
No, this is Adam
taking
Adam
notes.
asking for my notes.
Yeah, she called them Zent motherfuckers. Yeah.
Okay.
Did you happen to see anything that occurred afterwards?
Nope. Me and my lot just stayed in here. But I don't know. I'm not saying a lot, but I know that so there's a lot of Zents that like to hang out up by Candle Lane.
Candle Lane?
Yeah. There's like a warehouse up there. Just saying.
Squirm hears the things that you're saying that you're definitely not saying. Wait, Squirm's confused now. Anyway, thank you. Sorry you're having a rough day. hope that this helps. What would my guess for the cost of alcohol in this place be? Given the quality, because I did like sample.
Yeah.
I'd taken a pull from the tankard that was supposed to be mine.
A few silver would cover everything. Yeah.
So I'll hand her a gold piece so that she can keep drinking.
All right.
They're called dragons here. Go away. Silver is now snapping his fingers, trying to get service.
I'm going to look over.
The guy puts down the ledger and is just staring at you, Silver, just with his eyes like frowning and beady.
What is Lysandra saying to Silver? He's trying to pay.
She's actually stopped talking and is just looking at him like he is just the biggest moron on. Like her mouth is slightly ajar. Frankly, she's wondering how he hasn't been murdered before. Like, it's a miracle he's still alive. And she's just gonna shake her head and grab him by the other hand and say, "Let's go."
From the other side of the room, she's going to hear in Draconic, "Long, winding, and sun-bleached."
Oh my god! And Zalandra's just gonna look at him with that sort of put upon look, like she knows what he means, and she's gonna say, "Come on, Sparkles, let's talk outside."
Awesome.
Squirm is going to indicate to the man keeping the ledger that his tab has been taken by that woman and that he left her with payment.
He nods at you.
And then I'll probably scamper over to Writhe.
I've probably just been talking about the fish hooks with these guys, trying to understand how they tolerate the pain, like in a really clinical way.
So Writhe, oh my gods, what did you do to that man?
He consented. It's okay.
I consented. It was great.
They stick fish hooks in
You're actually using that word in the way that it's supposed to be used for once. Interesting.
I always use it in the way it's supposed to be used.
Sure you do.
Anyway, he did consent.
I last knows our way around a hook.
I do. I know my way around pointy things.
What's your name, lass? I'll look for you again.
I'm Amelia Writhe.
Amelia Writhe. Oh, that's cool last name.
If you ever want more things stuck in you, pointy things, I mean, let me know.
His eyes go so wide. He starts walking very slowly, smiling.
Squirm is gonna is standing, and again, I just need people to picture. They're at I assume sort of a standard bar table.
Sure. Yeah.
Squirm is 2 feet tall. He's looking up to see everyone who is sitting down, and is just sort of slowly panning his head from side to side, like. Squirm doesn't want to call this heartwarming, but it's a reasonable facsimile. Did you find out anything relevant?
I think so. We should probably not talk here. Did the other two... Where did they go?
I think Sandra dragged me out.
Yes, and actually, we are having a very serious conversation, by the way.
I'm pretty sure that the nice lady is discovering how difficult her job actually is.
Yes, well...
Sparkles ain't
he'll
smart.
probably be dead soon, so...
Squirm agrees. Anywho, let's go have a conversation somewhere else. Nice to meet you. Mr. Fishhook.
Hi, nice to meet you all. Amelia Wright, I'll be looking for you later.
Great.
So as that was going on outside, Lysandra would have turned to Silver and said, "Listen, you need to start taking this seriously. Not because I have a job to do, which I do, and I will do it well, but because you are currently dishonoring your former master." And she'll look very deeply into his eyes and say, "This isn't what he would have wanted you to act like."
Excuse me, Lysandra. How would you know what Aeson would want me to do?
He has contacted me, and he has set forth a task for me. That task is to make you presentable and a worthy member of the Lord's Alliance. I will do this. You are currently acting like a child.
Silver's eyes will kind of briefly just kind of flash almost like, bluish green flames. Not really flames, more like just something for just a moment. And he'll and he'll say, "This whole thing is absurd. I don't know why Aeson would write to me out of nowhere after 4 years, and apparently he's been in touch with you too, and damn him, he leaves right at the end of my studies, and he thinks he can just come back into my life like this and start telling me what to do via you, a woman who I've only just met tonight. I hate this. I hate everything." Silver pulls out a. Silver is about to cry, and he pulls out a bell, and he is going. He rings this bell, but it's you don't hear anything. Nobody hears.
Yeah,
anything.
it's odd. You shake this bell, and just nothing. Yeah, just nothing appears at the moment.
And then he just
sounds
kind of stamps his foot a little bit and puts the bell away, and then just kind of turns away for a moment. Then he turns back and he says, "And how was I acting like a child? I was doing investigative work, and you know what? And he'll turn back around and just kind of cross his arms and stare south.
All right.
Squirm is going to come out the door, I feel like, at about this time.
Yeah, and I'll follow, obviously.
Wow, this is actually going worse than Squirm thought it would.
Are they having a fight?
Looks more like a pout from here. One-sided.
Silver. Go ahead. You go.
No, you can go ahead.
Yeah, Silver, upon them coming out, he would have quickly tried to collect himself and then turn around and say, "It's not a fight, and I'm not pouting."
Were you crying?
I am not crying.
Squirm asked, were you?
Could you please not say that word? I don't like it.
Were?
No, not that
You.
one. You don't, please do not, you don't have to guess the word.
Crying?
I don't know which word.
No, not any of those.
Squirm.
I don't.
But that is his name.
That is the one, and I don't like it, and I don't like that it's your name, Baldy. So if we could just try to avoid it entirely, that would be
Why
fantastic.
would Squirm avoid Squirm's name?
Because some people don't like the word moist. For me,
Moist.
that is that.
Squirm.
Lysandra's going to interject at this point.
Who doesn't like it? Who doesn't like a nice moist squirming?
What an interesting reaction to words. Do you react that way to having fish hooks stuck in your flesh too?
Oh, God. Silver will widen his eyes at Amelia, because I don't think he even saw that was happening, so he doesn't even have the context for that. What's Lysandra?
Lysandra's going to interject here, and she seems to have lost composure, which is odd for her for just a moment, and she's going to yell at you, okay, let's simplify. If you do not shape up, you can kiss your mother's bank accounts goodbye forever. Is that something you want?
Silver's wide eyes will go from being about the fish hooks at Amelia, and will swivel over to Lysandra, remaining wide, and his mouth will open a bit again and kind of hang open for a bit, and then
and she'll use the signs to say, "Oh yes, I will be giving her periodic updates on how her valiant heroic son is doing. How do you think it's going to go so far?" And she'll raise her eyebrow. Yeah. Silver's eyes will kind of gloss over with kind of just a calm, pale bluish green now until close his mouth and remain silent. That's a better look for you. Now, friends, what did we find out? And she'll turn to the other group members. Yeah.
Floon was here 2 nights ago. He left with Raynor, Neverember. They seemed to be friendly with each other. They didn't know where he was going.
I'm gonna nod at this to corroborate. And as you say that, however, the Zentarum that followed seemed less friendly.
My informants didn't mention Zentarum, but yours seemed reliable.
They seem involved in gang warfare. I don't know if that's a yes or a no to reliable.
Oh.
We'll check maybe on that one.
Squirm isn't entirely sure, but she was pretty drunk.
That usually indicates honesty, if nothing else.
She also suggested a location where we might find where the Zentarum like to take people that they follow with malicious intent.
Well, where to then?
She said something about Warehouse Candle Lane. No distinguishing markings.
Did it seem like she was being honest, or like she just wanted us to fuck some Zentarum up?
That's a good question. I don't know. She struck me as a liar the moment I saw her. And she
How
did
can
say
you tell
that several
someone
of-
is a liar the moment you see them?
I'm very insightful.
All right.
And she did suggest that those dead bodies that we passed in the street earlier were friends of hers, which makes her a Xanathar. Just saying.
Actually, that's not a bad assumption. Where is this warehouse? Andy, actually, would any of us know where the warehouse is?
They said Candle Lane, so that would be right up here.
Okay.
Squirm's just saying we could do worse than a drunk person having a bad day.
That's true, yes.
I don't disagree. I just don't want to get involved with the Zentarum. Is that really worth 100 dragons?
I mean, how would they know who you were anyway with that fantastic mask? That is, unless you introduced yourself.
As Amelia arrived.
Wait, yeah, what did Lysandra just... I was only half listening. Did she reference the masks?
Yes, she did reference the fact that Amelia has her face covered, not necessarily what we do, but...
Right. Well, at the mention of the mask, Silver will raise his hand and remember that he had this scarf or whatever covering his face. And then he'll like snap and be like, that's why she wasn't charmed by me. She couldn't see my face. I told you all, it's one of my best features.
Yes. We're beginning to understand that. It might be your best feature.
Squirm objects to the use of the phrase "one of."
Savage.
Oh my
That's
god.
very good. That's very good.
Oh, so at any rate, we don't really have much else to be going on, and frankly,
Well, we could try to find Raynar, but he's, a noble.
I mean,
A real one.
What would I know about Raynar, if anything, Andy? Given my background.
Yeah, Raynar is a bit of a party boy. He definitely likes the company of other menfolk. You actually heard his name somewhat recently because there's his father hired a spy to keep tabs on him in town, and you've heard that name kind of flitted around a bit.
Would Silver know of Raynar?
Oh yeah, everyone would know of him since he was the son of the Open Lord, but no one else has met him or anything. Yeah.
Okay, never met him. Okay.
Well, why don't we at least look at this warehouse, and if there are, how shall we say, any obstacles that pop up, we might try finding Raynar instead.
Silver will nod at this.
All right.
I
Are you all
suppose.
heading that direction?
I mean, is Amelia okay with it, or?
Amelia seems, you can't read her face at all, but she seems hesitant. But she's going along with it anyways.
Squirm is gonna kind of lean in, and actually Squirm more or less needs to indicate for her to pick him up to be able to whisper to her.
Okay, so she'll do that.
So he'll kind of like perch on her, like her shoulder / in her arm. Be like, look, to be fair, if anything goes sideways, it's gonna be Sparkles going down first.
True.
You should make an interesting research subject. See if there's actually a brain in there.
He has to have one, doesn't he?
If you look over at this point, you'll see Silver just kind of absent-mindedly just staring up at the sky.
Squirm is going to look at this, blink. Squirm is genuinely unsure.
I don't think humanoids can function without brains.
Squirm would question whether you're defining him as functional.
All humanoids that I've researched have had brains.
All humanoids you've researched were functional.
Wow.
I love this as like just an interesting variation on Charity and Stormbringer's conversations.
I will say that Lysandra is probably sort of staring at all of you, all in place in different ways, fixedly. Like, are we going, or?
Yes, but I'd like to make it clear that 100 dragons is not worth bringing the Zentarum down on us. So if it's looking like that's the only option, I'm out.
I think that's a fair assessment.
Understood, Amelia. Your concern has been noted. And Silver will march away, leading the way to the warehouse.
Does he know where it is?
Yeah, is he going in the wrong direction?
Yeah, he's marching toward the ocean.
He's going like down here.
Yeah.
As inevitably, I am sure Lysandra is moving to correct him. Squirm is going to stick up a finger. What do we think the odds are that he'll just walk into the ocean?
Fairly high, and I did promise that I wouldn't let him drown.
That seems specific.
Promise you made.
It's really specific. Yeah.
I mean, you don't know noble children like I do. You have to make very specific clauses with them. She's gonna call, or actually she'll just run up to Silver and say, wrong way.
Oh, no, yes, I know. I was just looking around for potential threats. Do I see any potential threats, Andy? Can I do a perception
Give
check?
me a perception check, yeah.
Can he see himself?
I just critted my perception check.
As you're kind of jokingly doing this to like kind of correct a mistake that you actually made,
Yeah.
you do notice there's a couple people watching you, and they're talking to themselves, but their gaze hasn't really left your direction.
Can I tell, do they have any noticeable tattoos?
No noticeable tattoos, no. And they're kind of in this direction.
So I see them like down the alley, basically.
Yeah. And yeah, while it was
Alright,
kind of a joke at first to just get by, you actually do see something that you perceive as pretty dangerous.
Yeah, I'll casually pretend that I didn't notice them and walk slowly with Lysandra back towards Squirm and Amelia, but I'll say softly to her, a couple of mysterious, suspicious-looking figures to our 3 o'clock.
Lysandra is going to
You're not
say, yeah, like, what?
No, if we're
Why are you speaking in code? They can't. You're whispering anyway. Anyway.
First of all, I want to make it clear that if we're walking, if we're walking northeast,
That's true.
Our 3 o'clock is down that way, and second of all, you can never be too safe. And third of all, I don't want to have to do a Burbage Kemp here and always have to say, you know what the clock looks like.
So, wow. Oh, you're making this really hard, Adam.
That was lovely.
All Silver said was a couple of suspicious figures to our 3 o'clock. That's very competent, TJ/Lysandra. So give me a break.
Lysandra's going to say, yes, we're in the middle of Zentarum territory. I dare say everybody's a suspicious figure. To that end, I don't want to fight with you. I am here to help you. You need to let me help you. Do you understand? You could be killed.
Silver will stop and face Lysandra kind of square on and sigh and look her in the eyes and say, I understand, Lysandra. I don't want to fight either. And I appreciate you wanting to help. I really do. But he's kind of started to kind of lean in just a little bit closer as he says that. And then he'll just kind of stare at you for a moment, Lysandra, and then give you a wink and walk away.
Well, I certainly hope that warehouse is full of Zentarum, she'll say to herself, and then she will join up with the rest of the group.
All right. So this is somewhat important. No reason. Are you guys going to head this way and then up the main road and then over? Or do you want to cut through all the back alleys to get up there? Or kind of go this main road that went back the way you came from the Yawning portal? Probably the most easiest, efficient, longest, best road would be this, you would think.
Easiest,
but this is
efficient,
a little quicker.
Easiest, efficient, longest, best. Okay.
Yeah, but this is
Based on our knowledge of this area, which do we think is safest?
Probably,
especially
this,
given given that Silver saw these two figures staring at them. Silver would have motioned to all of us that we should definitely go to like a main thoroughfare and follow that way.
So we'll do that.
Daft Punk songs will be sung of this route.
All right. You make your way up. You get into the area known as Candle Lane. Again, here it's there's very little. It's kind of dark and really run down. The gloom envelops a narrow alley, as dark as a dungeon and as odorous as one too. Nearly all the street lamps have been smashed, and the only light that pierces the darkness is a faint flicker from down the lane, like a distant candle. And at this point, it is getting to be about 7:38. The sun has gone down, and the tall buildings have cut off any remaining light, and it's getting pretty dark around here.
Does anybody else need a quick bathroom break by any chance?
It might be good.
Or will they,
Oh, that's
A
fine.
minute
Yeah.
if-
We can do that.
would this be
Yeah.
a good spot to just take a few minutes?
Go for it. Yeah. Let's do it.
Because that almost suggests that you're just going to keep playing as soon as Adam steps away.
Yeah, no.
Adam,
you guys
Adam,
keep
you go ahead.
You take care of whatever you need to, buddy. Don't worry.
Honestly,
Shove him into the Zentarum.
this can be an Adam will be right back situation as long as you guys fill me in on any relevant details in Discord.
No, I have to go too. Yeah, we'll begin.
All right, we will be right back in a couple of minutes, everybody.
Well, hell, we're back.
Jesus.
What was that accent?
I don't know. Excellent. Well, the party has just gotten some more information about this Floon Blackmar character that they've been looking for. He was last seen with someone named Raynar Neverember, the son of the former Open Lord of Waterdeep. Yeah. And they said that it's possible they hang out in a warehouse up here somewhere. These Zentarum motherfuckers. So this is where you've now come about. This dark and dreary lane as the buildings cut off any rays of sunlight into the area. It's getting dark. And what is it that all of you would like to do?
I'd like to look around and see if I'm seeing or hearing any people that are hidden, etc. Especially if I'm noticing
Sure.
the warehouse itself of in its area.
Yeah, and I'm keeping an eye out this whole time for those two figures, Andy. I don't know how long my crit kind of extends for that, or if you want me to roll again, or what.
Yeah, both of you give me perception checks.
15 for me.
All right.
14.
Yeah, with a 15, you don't see anyone. And actually, that's a little weird for you, Squirm. If this is kind of like a hideout of some sort, you would imagine there would be a lookout somewhere. And really, it's just kind of empty and quiet in this lane. And Silver, you've not seen anyone following you, specifically since you last saw those blokes.
Squirm's gonna point this out to everyone. So if Squirm was running a criminal hideout, Squirm would have a lookout, probably several. Squirm doesn't see any lookouts.
Maybe we should leave.
Not just yet, Amelia. I feel as though I might have someone to help us investigate further. I will summon my familiar from its pocket dimension.
Ah, okay.
And what you guys see is basically Lysandra sort of flick her fingers in an arcane symbol, and in a little puff of smoke that smells slightly of sulfur, tiny black quattle, which is like a winged snake, appears. It's a very fashionable reskinned owl. And how big is the warehouse? Is it multiple stories? Is it?
Oh, there are several warehouses on this lane. You're not
Okay.
exactly sure a specific one. Yeah.
Okay, so how many would you say? Like 5, 6?
Probably about 5. Yeah.
Okay. So I am going to send Nixa, the Coatl, around to look for anything really, using sight in particular. So anything suspicious, or anything that has, I guess, eye stalks, or
Sure.
or I guess the snake too.
Oh, like symbols?
Yeah,
etched into
symbols.
Stuff? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So I have advantage on perception checks that rely on sight with this.
Yeah. And no Silver. No, you don't have to. He does know.
Okay.
by the way. Yeah. Cool. All right. And as you're doing that, Squirm, you finally do see the first person that you've seen on this street, carrying kind of a book pack, and almost jogging. You know, doing that thing where you're like trying to make it seem like you're jogging, but you're actually just moving about as, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you're trying to act like you're moving faster than you are. You know, like if like someone's crossing the street in front of your car, but they really shouldn't be, they'll start doing that thing where they're kind of acting like they're going faster than they are. Yeah. You see that occurring. And it's kind of an older gentleman. And he's got a big white mustache, like really, really thick. And he kind of trots up to you guys, and if you don't do anything specifically. And then he comes over to you, Silver, and he's a bit out of breath, and he says, "Oh, yes."
Presumably, I recognize this man.
Absolutely. Yep.
As he was running
You
up
need some
to
water? I have some extra water in my water skin. And he uncorks it.
Who?
What?
what
What's Squirm?
in the hells?
It's good to see you, Randall, and I never thought I would ever say that in my life. Yes, do you happen to have some water? I only have Czar on me, and I'm trying to stay hydrated.
Oh, of course.
Silver?
Here you go, Master.
We're supposed to be being sneaky. And
Oh, yes,
this is
sneaky. Sorry about that. I didn't know. I was a bit loud coming. I asked a few people where Candelane was.
Randall,
we should leave.
You are constantly messing everything up, aren't you? Give me the water. Just tilt it into my mouth for me, please.
Oh, fine. Here you go. Oh, it's so
Silver?
good that Silver has friends.
He's not.
No.
No. You're misunderstanding.
They're not my friends, Randall. Thank you for the water. They are my colleagues and
We
co-adventurers.
really ought to leave.
Ooh, colleagues. then.
Lysandra is gonna walk up and say, "Lord Randall, how nice to see you out and about.
And you again, Lysandra?
Silva is currently undergoing training, so I must respectfully request that you return home to your lovely wife. I'm sure she
This isn't
misses you a
some
lot."
fucking village green, you guys. We're supposed to be being stealthy.
Yes,
Oh, yes,
no,
yes.
yes, absolutely,
Stealthy.
absolutely.
Of course.
Randall, come
Yes, yes.
with me, and
Yes.
I'll kind
Yes,
of
yes.
take Randall off just a little ways.
Yes.
And
he
I'll-
comes
and
over
I'll
and
say
shakes
to
your
him-
hand, Amelia. My name's Randall.
Do not touch me.
Silver is trying to drag Randall away.
I'm so proud of you, Silver.
Randall, stop! Shut up! Will you shut up and just listen to me?
help.
Come over.
I'm just smiling
No, come over here and just
from
just
ear to
listen.
ear.
God damn it, Randall! I hate you so much.
Squirm, incidentally, is very carefully like opening the flaps on his jacket and purposefully touching each bottle of alcohol that he has to make sure how much he's been drinking.
Okay.
Listen, Randall, I need
Yes.
to ask you a question.
Oh, I'm good at that. Hit me.
And the question is,
Tempting.
how's Mummy?
Oh my
Silver?
god!
Silver, we had a talk that I would only answer that question 3 times a day. This is the 4th time.
Oh, I know, but how is she? Is she okay
Silver?
without me?
Silver,
Randall.
for your own good, I shan't answer. But she's fine.
Right, okay. Oh,
But
okay.
officially, I did not answer this.
Yes. Do you think, is there any chance I could sleep in my room tonight?
No, Silver. Of this, we are very, very stern. There is... You are to find somewhere on your own.
God damn it, Randall! And I'm gonna take Randall by the fucking cuff. Just grab him by the collar of his shirt.
Oh, sure.
I'm gonna say, Randall, you are powerless and meaningless in the House Naran. Do you understand that?
I'm gonna walk over to them. Silver, you're making a scene, and we're supposed to be being quiet.
I'm going to quietly say to Lysandra,
Yes,
long, winding, sun-bleached, and currently on fire.
And given that your
Lysandra actually
body servant asked directions to here, it's likely that someone knew we were coming here. So perhaps we should leave.
He's not my servant, he's my stepfather, but I basically treat him like a servant because he means nothing to me.
Oh.
I'm just happy to be out of the house.
Lysandra is gonna seem to come out of a reverie, and she's like, I'm sorry, I was looking through another creature's eyes because this was too much.
Take Squirm with you.
And she's going to go up to Randall and say, Randall, I have a very important message for your wife that you need to deliver straight away because she told me to keep her updated.
Oh, yes, of course.
Tell her that her son has great
I'm doing
potential,
a great job. I'm doing a great job.
but he is squandering. He is squandering it. I need you to go and tell... Yes, I need you to go tell her this now. And I need you to also tell her that contingent upon what happens this evening, he will either be just fine and I will continue teaching him, or he is a lost cause and he may not be allowed back home.
Oh my. Oh, no, I will do this right away. Thank you for your attention and your friendship for my stepson. Good luck on your journey.
Thank you, Randall. Please also don't meet up with us again. You might get hurt, and we wouldn't want that.
But what if
And don't follow us or ask for directions to where we're going either.
But if he rings the bell again,
I'll pull him. I'm pulling him away, and I'm gonna say to him under my breath, "If I ring the bell, you damn well come, and you know that.
What
I
bell?
will kill you, Randall. I will kill you."
Lysandra will explain what happened with the bell.
If one of you can hold him, I can retrieve the bell from him.
Go, Randall. Just go.
right, sir.
Randall, you never should have come here.
I'm gonna look at Ride. You got any spare fish hooks?
I didn't borrow any, but I have other pokey things.
But come if I ring the bell. Go away,
Lysandra...
Randall. You never should have come. You've drawn attention to us. We're trying to be secretive, and we're investigating a mystery.
Silver, you are yelling
hear you, sir.
that we're trying to be secretive and we're investigating it.
Amelia, you're wearing a giant Dr. Plague mask on your face. That draws more attention than anything.
Really? More
think
attention
she's
than you yelling her name?
I'm not yelling. I'm stage whispering now. Okay, and I can catch myself drifting into Burbage.
I'm gonna look at the apparently somewhat portly figure of Randall. Do you know if Sparkles there is left-legged or right-legged?
I haven't the foggiest.
Never seen him
Sir?
try to kick a ball.
No.
Upon reflection, Squirm realizes that was a stupid question. Oh well, both it'll have to be then, just to make sure.
Randall, do you have any money? Can I have some money before I
no
leave?
money, Silver. Not now.
Randall, I just need to say, I despise you with a passion. And
Yes, sir.
I resent the fact that you've ever even come close to having sex with my mother. She deserves better than you. Do you understand?
Yep. Come close to. And he kind of looks behind you at like Lysandra and Amelia and winks.
Lysandra
You're going to hear.
I saw you wink just now. I'm standing right in front of you. Do you understand that, Randall? Do you even know how winking works?
I do, sir.
Get.
All right. He
I really think we should leave.
trots away. And Lysandra, about this point, Nixa does come back and lets you know that that they found another sort of serpent symbol on one of the warehouses.
How far away was the warehouse? Because it was the one we were right in front of. Maybe we should leave.
It's like two or three buildings down. Yeah.
Okay. At this point, Lysandra's going to relay this to Amelia and to Squirm and say, well, we did find something. I was blissfully far away. And she'll tell them about the serpent symbol. She's actually just trying not to acknowledge Silver at all at this point. As if he's too painful a prospect to regard.
Oh my god.
This whole situation feels strange, and I still
Ridiculous.
think we should leave. It's too quiet here.
We could have Silver start yelling again.
Please don't.
Lysandra, you're deliberately misunderstanding me.
Forgive me. I will have Nixa take a look around this warehouse, and if it seems as if our presence has been discovered, we can regroup and think about what else to do. Is that all right?
Yes.
Did Silver hear what Lysandra said to them?
She's probably keeping her voice down, so I mean, it probably would have been done at least under like partial cover of the conversation you were having with your stepfather.
Oh, so before he left, you were talking to them?
As soon as Nixa got back, whenever that occurred.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
And Nixa didn't find any way in the warehouse, but there are several windows and doors to the place.
I'll relay this information as well. I expect they probably are at least locked, but I don't know. I'll check to see if anyone's inside, or rather have Nixa check, and then we can go from there. May I have Nixa... Actually, I'm going to look through my familiar's eyes, so I gain that perspective. I'm going to look through some of the windows to see if there's anything alive in there.
All right, give me a perception check.
It's with advantage because I'm looking.
Ooh.
Wow, that helped.
Jesus.
You see kind of the remnants of commotion. Boxes have been overturned, crates. You see several dead bodies just kind of looking in. You don't see anything moving right now.
So I'll sort of have Nixa come back to me, but step out of looking through her eyes. Well, there's good news, Amelia. If there is anyone around, it seems that they're all dead, so there's that.
Oh, freshly dead.
Did it look like they were freshly dead, Andy?
Yes. Yeah. As best as
yes,
you can
it looked like there was a bit of a struggle.
Well,
Oh,
that
we should
changes
go-
things.
We should go check the bodies and see if one of them happens to be Floon.
Yes, and if
Dagmar,
not,
the
we can
painter.
I'm going to slowly
move
blink.
the bodies.
And Sparkles, which of the dead bodies are you going to ask if they're Floon?
Silver will... his mouth will be hanging open just slightly a bit, and he'll blink a couple of times before he realizes what you're saying. And then he'll say, oh, yes, good point. Well, maybe he'll have a self-portrait on him.
Let's go.
All right. So this particular warehouse has kind of like wooden steps going down a hill toward the back of the warehouse, where there's kind of a receiving yard, and that looks like the most inconspicuous place at the moment to see if there's a way in. But you could kind of go up front too, again, and look around if you'd like.
Can I make it sort of to the corner that opens onto the yard? Basically cover the whole way and then look around a little bit better? Absolutely.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, you see kind of a gates around the yard. This is a fence. You see a couple of windows and then sort of two large loading doors for the warehouse.
And do I get the sense that there's anyone moving or anything? Anyone...
give me a perception check, and then this is a door next to the two loading.
Nice.
Nat 20.
There is absolutely no one in the yard at all. You do hear, just because you're being so quiet, you do hear a bit of movement inside the warehouse. A little.
I'm gonna put my hand up for the everyone to like stop back behind me, and very quietly whisper, "Someone is moving inside." Or something.
What floor?
You imagine probably this first floor, that's down on the level of the yard, not the up here level.
Same level as us.
There are windows higher up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we could try and go to the upper levels if... I mean, the windows are probably locked, is the problem.
Does the wall itself look scalable to me?
The outer wall of this thing, it would be really hard.
Like, I assume the fence is pretty easy to get over, but like the outer wall of the building itself would be hard.
Yeah, that would be a little harder. Yeah. You do have a window right here down on your level too.
And there's no windows on our level facing me across the yard?
Right. Just
so like I could roll around the corner of the building.
Yeah, once you get over the fence here.
Or we could try and distract whoever's inside to see who it might be.
Fair point.
She's gonna turn to Amelia, and then start to turn to Silver, and then turn back to Amelia. Amelia, what do you think?
Do we know how many people are inside? Alive people.
Did I get any sense?
No, not at all.
Not sure.
Do we want to try and find out?
Can your little snake thing?
Yes.
With the wings?
Well, Nixa, yes. I can have a tap on a window, or rather I can attempt to create a distraction with magic, if you'd like. A small noise, perhaps, in the upper floors to draw them there.
Do I think I could do I think I could relatively inconspicuously get over that fence and check to see if that window is open?
Yeah, give me an acrobatics check.
Andy, I'd like to use Divine Sense.
All right.
While I'm out here. That only works within 60 feet?
Yes.
But it does work through walls.
So I'm going to whisper back, Squirm is going to check the window.
Fair enough. I will come with you through Nixa. Nixa's going to perch on his shoulder.
12 for my acrobatics?
Yeah, you get over the fence.
I will say Nixa's like perched, I guess, on his shoulder, sort of riding along with him, and I'm looking through Nixa's eyes.
Okay.
So that I can periodically give updates to the rest.
So, about this window.
All right, so you see basically this in here.
That's a lot of dead people. But I don't see anything moving, and the source of the sound seemed to be more down, like directly across from the yard, right?
Yeah.
So that would make sense to me, and I see stairs up or down?
Up, going up.
Okay.
To a second level. That comes out. That's open in the middle, but has a big, like, 20-foot sort of railing.
Ooh, wait. I have to check a rule, but I think I might have an idea.
Andy, do I sense anything with my divine sense?
60 feet of you there? No, you don't.
I love the way you phrased that.
Do you?
What is the closest window to me?
The one that Nyx is at.
Okay.
And Squirm.
Yes. I'm gonna sort of attempt to dart right there as well, if that's okay.
You give me an acrobatics check to get over the fence. You don't do it quietly, but you do get over. And the fence kind of shakes like ching, 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 ching.
Silver shushes her. Shh. It's a loud shush.
Jesus.
Silver. Quiet.
Quickly, Nyx is, I can see in the window, right?
Yeah.
Nyx is going to dismiss her familiar, and then she is going to summon her familiar. It just has to be, I think, within 10 feet. She's going to summon her familiar again inside at a point she can see in the window, if that's...
Oh, actually inside the window then?
Yeah. Because I can see it.
Gotcha.
Is that cool?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yep, let me give it sight so you can see. Oh, it has sight. What is its dark vision? Because
it has dark vision and advantage on perception checks that rely.
There, that you should be able to see that.
Awesome. So as stealthily as possible, and I'll have Nyxa make a stealth check. I'm going to have Nyxa sort of scout the perimeter of the place if possible.
All right.
Let me see.
Cool.
17.
All right. Nyx, as you're kind of flying up, again, this is 2 stories, but you're sort of on the first floor looking around. You see lots of bodies. You also see what look like 2 avian figures hiding.
Avian how? Like
they have beaks,
okay.
black feathers, but they are sort of humanoid in shape.
Oh, okay. Do they seem to notice Nyxa at all?
They don't, though they do seem to be kind of waiting and listening. As if something might have warned them that you were coming.
Perhaps my noise. Do they have any obvious markings on them?
Not that you see, no.
All right, so I'm not looking through Nyxa's eyes. I'm assuming Nyxa's relaying all this telepathically to me.
Sure.
So the entire group is being briefed on what I'm seeing.
And where are those figures?
They are over on the other side of the stairs that you can see Squirm.
So they were like behind. Oh, okay, over there. All right.
Yeah, kind of over there.
So they wouldn't seem to be the source of the noise that I had heard previously, unless they moved.
Probably not. Yeah, right. Unless there's, maybe more down here or something.
I'm gonna have Nixa continue to look if that's okay. Just sort of attempt to stealthily fly by. Do you want another stealth roll, or is that sufficient?
Give me stealth is fine. Give me a perception now to look.
All right, and now I'm looking specifically for alive enemies or people.
20.
Very nice. Yeah, 20.
Actually, 22 because I have advantage.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, so that's gonna show you there's 2 more figures, kind of lying in wait.
Once again, I'll relay all that to the party members, and once again, just their cloaked avian, just looks like they're hiding. Okay.
There's a lot of dead bodies. There's a lot of carnage around. These 4 look generally unscathed. Maybe like you would guess, maybe they either came. You would guess somehow they kind of came after the whatever happened here.
All right. So basically, Lysandra is going to relay all this information and say, "Well, they seem to know we're here. I could try and use Nixa as a distraction and get them to, how shall we say, look in the wrong place while we attempt to get in."
And why are we attempting to get in?
To learn about the whereabouts of Floon Dagmar so that we can get money, because we want it. We want money.
There are also a fair number of recently deceased bodies in there.
And these all look rather healthy and hale, so I don't know. I suppose I meant if we want to go in.
As you start talking about these ones look healthy, you're going to just see Squirm start shaking his head. There's lots of dead ones.
I mean, I guess if we're just going to get some bodies or Floon and then we leave, then I suppose it makes sense.
Get a few, make a few, you know.
Yeah.
Do you want me to try and get them upstairs then?
Without really trying to open it, do I think that this window is locked or openable?
It is locked. Yeah, but anyone with thieves' tools could probably pick.
Yeah, I do have thieves' tools, so.
I'll nod. I'm like, yeah, look, lure them up.
All right. So, Nixa is, I'm gonna have Nixa sort of, swooped. Where's the staircase?
Kind of the north side here. Yeah.
Is it within sight of all these things, do you think?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, all of them.
Okay. So, Lysandra's going to have Nixa sort of halfway up the stairs start screeching and sort of flapping wildly, and then fly up the stairs, making a lot of noise all the way.
Okay. Excellent. All right.
And
so you're going to come
and
out on these top level.
And Lysandra is going to say, as this is happening, go ahead.
And at this point, Squirm, you do see 2 Kenku now rushing up the stairs after that.
Do I see any other movement? Because we were told that there were 2 more, right?
Right. You don't see any other movement.
And where were the 2 more when Lysandra said that to us?
Down further.
Down...
around here-ish.
So more to the area that I thought might have been making the noise originally?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Amelia, if you want to jump the fence and unlock the window, feel free.
Yeah, I can try that.
Give me an acrobatics or something.
Oh, I cast guidance on myself, right?
Yeah, I assume so, yeah. once we're into combat.
Okay, well, it's a 7, so...
A 7, you're barely able to make it over the fence. It's making a lot of noise. I'm sure Silver hushes you as well.
I'm a researcher. This isn't my forte.
As that's happening, I'm actually going to use what's that spell? It's not thaumaturgy. It's
Is it not?
minor illusion. Minor illusion.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to use minor illusion to create the sound of like scrabbling footsteps on the roof.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Silver is looking desperately for a gate.
There certainly is. Down here, yeah.
There is one?
Yeah. Yeah.
And is it locked?
Yeah, it's got a chain around it and locked.
God damn it.
You're going to see Squirm lock eyes with Silver and mouth the words, "Your move, Sparkles."
Yeah, I mean, Silver will very reluctantly try to climb over this fence. He's never climbed over anything before.
Never?
Especially...
Yeah.
Well, you are
had
an
to
armor,
climb.
so
And he's in chainmail.
Yeah, give me an acrobatics check with disadvantage.
if I can make Nixa screech louder as he's doing that, I will.
All right.
So I'm just
Also,
picturing.
like, the chainmail...
Sorry.
Yeah. It also gives me disadvantage on stealth, but...
I'm just picturing the sound of like the Immigrant song now coming from the upper floor.
Yeah.
So, a 10.
You again are able to make it over the fence. Your chainmail gets caught a little bit on it as you're slipping over and you're pulling and making some noise. But you get over it, and actually are a little proud of yourself. You made it over the fence.
As you
I shush myself.
As you turn back towards the group, you're going to see Squirm very slowly and deliberately mouth the word "squirm."
Amelia, you are free to unlock a window.
Right, I'm going to do that.
Thieves' tools, please.
And also guidance, right? I can use that on that?
I believe so, yeah. It's a dex check.
So, 14?
All right, 14. You are able to pick the lock. You slide in your thieves' tools and just pop. The window is a little hard to open. It definitely isn't opened a lot, but you can get it open. Enough for you guys to squeeze inside if you'd like.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm going to try and create heavier footfalls on the roof as much as possible. And I will say Nixa has a flying speed of 60 feet, so I told her to play keep away and be as loud as possible for the intruders.
Gotcha.
So. Oh, and to update me if they're about to catch her.
Beautiful.
So I'll probably pop inside since on the map I'm already inside.
All right.
Yeah, I'll follow.
I will follow, but as I break line of sight with the roof, the minor illusion will fail.
Okay.
But Nix's...
Yeah. And Silver?
Yeah, I'm following.
All right.
This map is big and laggy for me.
I knew that there were people down here still.
Yes.
Down in the sort of the southern part of the warehouse. And I can now
and you-
see one.
Yes. You see a figure hiding behind some boxes.
Do I feel like there would be a way that I could sneak up on them?
It would be difficult, but certainly, yeah, you could try. Because it does seem like they're listening and waiting.
Is this a wooden warehouse?
Definitely has wooden crates and boxes in it.
Why do you keep inquiring as to the nature of the materials?
No reason. Is it say like a bonfire where it just spontaneously appear if we needed to block the upstairs. Would it possibly just create a fire that would kill us all?
Possible, I suppose, but probably unlikely.
Likely. Okay, cool. Thanks. That is all I need to know.
What would I think is the best way to try to get behind those figures? Or, like, move to them without being seen?
Maybe if you come over here and then come down
and loop around. Okay.
Yeah, you might guess.
So I'll try to stealthily move that way, at least to start.
Yeah, give me a stealth check and I'll let you know how far you get.
23.
Nice.
Ooh, 20.
I'm 2 feet tall.
So Squirm, you get to hear before you see Kenku right on the other side of this large contraption that seems to go to the second floor, and it just happens to be looking the other way at this point. You feel like if you wanted to, you could attack it.
Before he does that, Lysandra's going to dismiss Nixa.
All right.
From as much hiding as I can, so that I feel like even if it looked back this way, it'd be pretty unlikely to see me.
Yeah.
I kind of want to observe it. Does it look like it's waiting to jump? Like, do I feel like it's waiting to ambush someone? Do I see any markings on it? Is it armed?
It is armed with a dagger. It's pulled out, and it's in a fighting stance to pounce on someone, you think.
And it doesn't look like scared.
As a target. It does not look scared.
It's not like waving, a dagger desperately in front of it or something.
No.
And do I see any markings since I'm pretty close to it?
Not really. Yeah, just hooded.
No, fuck it. I'm here. It's Squirm. He's not going to think about this too long. Yeah, I'm giving him a punch.
I love giving a punch. Go ahead and roll for a punch.
I'm assuming he's surprised.
He is.
22.
22 hits.
5 bludgeoning.
All right, yeah, that hurts.
And I'm promptly going to follow it up with another punch.
Please do.
18.
18 hits.
For another 4.
All right. It is not unconscious, but looks incredibly surprised that you snuck up behind it. It whirls around as quick as it can with its dagger, but can't block your tiny, mighty fists and feet. Why don't we go ahead and roll initiative at this point?
14. Oh, there's the crit, though. Nice.
A 19 for silver.
I'd say. All right.
And since Lysandra critted, that narratively is perfect, because he'll follow her lead. Or whatever she tells him to do, basically.
Lysandra,
So how do we want to do the crit?
you can still act on this surprise round of squirms.
Okay.
And then we'll go into regular initiative order.
Okay. So Lysandra's gonna walk up to. Does she have line of sight from here, or no?
Not really. No. Not on this guy. On the one down here, you do. Yeah.
What about if I went here?
Then yes, I'd give you half cover almost.
Okay. So you give me half cover, or I'm assuming they're king.
Both ways. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess I'll attack the one that's further back in the room, the one I can still see.
Okay.
And I am going to toll the dead at him.
Oh.
So mournful bell sort of makes the floorboards kind of vibrate. Balefully vibrating.
Excellent. Yeah, he rolled a 3.
So
No,
3
I'm sorry. He rolled a crit hit. To avoid
on his wisdom.
that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm afraid he shakes that off quickly and screeches at you. Ah!
Rude.
Uncouth.
At that screech, you also hear steps pitter patter upstairs as well.
Okay. So do I get another round?
Yes.
So at hearing these pitter patter of those adorable little steps, Lysandra is going to create a bonfire on the stairs, halfway up,
Okay. Yeah.
blocking them if possible. And then she's going to move here. And that's going to be Lysandra's turn. There we are. Perfect.
All right. Fire.
I will say, tell me if it looks like the fire is going to spread.
Okay. Yeah. You'll keep an eye on it.
Yes.
All right, Silver.
So immediately, upon seeing Lysandra run over, Silver will puff out his chest and bravely run over to where she was standing to try to defend her, I guess. But before he knows that she's already gone with her extra movement. But so over here, I do not see any bad guys, do I?
You might see the one down here. Yeah. I think you do.
Yeah, I do see him.
So there.
Um,
And you do see Squirm kind of fighting someone over on this side, but you can't see the thing yet.
cool. If you'd let me fudge my movement a little bit, like if I was able to like move straight over rather than like up, because I'm not technically, I guess, allowed to move through Amelia's space, am I?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you can move. You can move through friendly spaces.
Oh, I
you
can't-
can't
you just
stop
Can't
in
end
them.
your turn there. Yeah.
Gotcha. Then if I'm there, I'm pretty sure I'm within range to be able to throw one of my javelins at this guy down
okay.
to the south here. So I will do that.
Give me an attack. 13. It does hit.
Nice. 9 piercing.
Oof. 9 damage. All right. It sticks in its shoulder, your javelin, and it screeches as it's trying to rip it out.
Sweet.
All right, Amelia.
I'm not sure if my dark vision is working correctly in roll 20 because I can only see in bright light within like 5 feet of me, and everything else is dim.
Yes.
Mine is the same way, so.
Yeah, that should be right. Because if there is dim light in here, you'll see it as bright light.
Okay.
But it's darkness, so you only see darkness as dim light.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so even technically within that 5 feet, you don't have bright light. You just...
It's just useful for being able to actually see.
Yeah.
So I can't quite see the person Squirm is fighting from here, right?
Correct.
Can I see them now? I don't feel like I can.
Not really, no. If you got up to, like, here-ish, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I can see like a corner of them now. And I'm gonna fire at that person with a ray of frost.
Okay, they'll have a little bit of cover. But yeah.
Jesus.
Oh
I
my
rolled
god,
a crit.
that's beautiful.
Melted. Double crit.
Yeah,
Wow.
you just immediately gauging Squirm's reactions and this thing hopping in and out of cover, you for a second, Amelia, are worried you're just gonna hit Squirm in the back like you did Silver earlier. And just something in you focuses so much more tightly on the beak of this thing. And then you fire right when you need to, turning it completely to ice, just as it's leaping in the air to hit Squirm. And as it comes down, it breaks into 1,000 little pieces.
Sweet.
Very well done.
And that's my turn.
All right. This one pulls out its javelin.
I think that pulls out Silver's javelin.
Silver's javelin. And rushes toward you, Silver. It can't quite attack you, as it used all its movement to get there. And then from the rafters, you see two Kenku diving on the ground next to Lysandra and Amelia. Though it took all their movement to sort of flap down to get to by you two. But that's it. And Squirm.
Seeing this, Squirm is going to charge this way. Okay, no. Going to punch the one that's next to Amelia.
All right.
19.
19 hits.
7 bludgeoning.
All right.
And then going to follow up with another barehanded strike. 14.
That hits.
Or another 7.
Excellent. Those both look... Or, I'm sorry, was that the same person?
Yeah.
Or the other one?
No, same person.
Oh, then that killed that one.
So he dives over, punches, and then basically finishes it with a spinning kick.
Nice.
And then is going to put his guard back up and face the other one.
All right. Lysandra.
So Lysandra is going to... this one is perfectly hale and healthy, right? From what we know.
Yes, yeah.
All right. Lysandra is going to take the disengage action and 5, 10, 15, 20. And back up
Okay.
25 feet and say, Squirm, you are a most valiant gentleman. Thank you.
Excellent. And Silver.
Yeah, I will definitely have unsheathed my longsword, and will attack this Kenku
All right.
with that.
Oof, I'm afraid a 9 does not quite hit. Something about Lysandra's eyes now being on you gets you a bit nervous, and your swing goes wide of the Kenku.
Unfortunate.
Amelia.
I'm gonna fire at the Kenku right by Squirm with a rift.
Please do.
Jesus!
Oh my
Hot
I rolled
damn.
another crit.
Go ahead and roll damage, just to make sure.
15.
So, yeah, 15 points of cold damage.
Yeah, again, as it's about to stab down on Squirm, you freeze its arm in midair, and then its face and its head and its eyes all become solid and thick as it drops to the ground dead.
Thank you.
I think my fingers are working again.
Seem
Well
to be.
done, Amelia.
And then I'm also gonna move.
All right. All right. Seeing its friends horribly killed, it's gonna try to run, but you get a swing at it, Silver.
I'll swing at it. I mean, if possible, I'd love to get my fucking javelin back. But I guess if I can kill it, then I can get my javelin back.
Indeed.
Yeah, I'll swing it.
A 7, I'm afraid, does not hit him as he darts.
If I completely miss him, can I accidentally hit the javelin?
Hit the javelin? Oh, you mean
if I was aiming
before he came to get you? So it's back here somewhere.
Oh, he wasn't attacking me with it?
No.
Oh, so the javelin's over there. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, short sword.
All right.
And he's trying to run, but squirm. Your turn.
5, 10, 20, 25, 30. And from underneath one of the recesses of his coat, Scrim's going to pull out a bottle and whip it at the Kenku's head.
All right.
19.
That hits.
5 bludgeoning.
All right. That's enough to knock him unconscious or kill him. Whatever you think.
Probably would be trying to knock unconscious.
Okay. All right. So he is down now. The others have been killed. He is unconscious. And that takes us out of combat.
I will dismiss the bonfire.
I'm going to get my javelin back.
All right.
I'm going to use some rope to tie up the Kenku.
I will try and help us any way I can.
And then
So,
Sounds good.
I'm not sure we should have been killing people, right? Like,
Well, you see, we were obviously here on Lord's Alliance business because our fair Silver Naran saw all the dead bodies through the window, and as
right.
responsible citizens, we had to investigate, yes? These
Yes.
obviously were miscreants who murdered everyone.
We can blame them, the Lord's Alliance, if that will keep us out of trouble.
Well, he's just a young acolyte, so perhaps he was taken away with a bit of passion.
Overeager. That's what he is.
Right. I'm sure the Zentarum will think that's very understandable and not come after the rest of us.
Who's
Silver
going
doesn't
to
hear
tell them?
any of it.
Yeah, Silver, you find your javelin a bit bloodied, but
And
Perfectly.
does my 15 perception check reveal anything else to me? Do I recognize any of the bodies? Do I see anything that stands out to me at all?
you do see a couple more of those tattooed figures with snakes and eyes, and this appears to be another Xanathar Zentarum skirmish.
Do I find anything on the Kenku?
The Kinku each have a short sword and a small bag of 10 copper. So it's 40 copper total.
So 10 copper apiece. And you say they have short swords?
Yes.
I'm gonna very carefully take each of the short swords and try to fit them into the scabbard that I'm
Excellent.
carrying.
Yeah. None of them fit.
After each of them doesn't fit, I'm gonna basically try to put them on the ground and essentially attempt to bend or break the blades.
Excellent. Yeah, you're bending most of them. The one that was frozen,
Worthless.
you completely break.
Worthless. But no papers or instructions or anything of any kind?
You don't see any now. Yeah.
Are any of the bodies especially pretty?
That's a good question, isn't that?
We got told pretty but not smart.
Oh, I see. You're looking through the bodies.
Yeah.
For
Actually,
Do they all?
I
Do they all seem like they're members of the Zentarum or the Xanathars?
Yeah, they all seem sort of black hooded figures of some sort. And, yeah.
I'm going to resummon Nixa and have Nixa look at the bodies while we're going over this whatever we're going to go over. Just kind of looking around for anything like we might have missed.
Beautiful. All right.
Do you want to check or?
Yes, please.
What kind?
Perception, I think, for that.
Okay. Let me. Perception.
The Kenku's been tied up, restrained completely.
Yeah.
If you wanted to, you could try to wake him up or do a medical check to see how long it'll take for him to wake up on his own.
I would look to Writhe for that.
Yeah. Sorry, what?
Squirm just makes them go to sleep. Squirm doesn't specify how long they're asleep.
Okay, I'll do a medical check to see. 21. I'm not going to bother with guidance.
It's all good. Yeah, you think he's going to be another couple hours, probably knocked out.
He's going to be out for another couple of hours unless someone has a way to wake him up.
We could have Silver revive him.
Silver comes up and he says, "Does anybody need any healing?" And then he'll look straight at Lysandra and say, "I could lay my hands on you."
Wow. I'm quite all right, thank you. We haven't decided yet. We might need you to wake this dear friend, and she'll gesture the Kenku, up so we can question him a bit.
Oh, sure. Hey, Kenku, wake up!
No,
not like that.
I kick him.
While this hilarity is going on. Oh my god. Has Nixa seen anything? The perception was a 20 with advantage.
No, but she heard something moving around back here.
Okay. I'm gonna investigate further, but we can swap back if we want to. It's up to you.
Did you mention that?
Yeah, I would have mentioned that.
Sure. Squirm cracks knuckles.
Lysandra's going to turn to Silver. Not yet, but we may need you to revive him soon.
Do I hear
Silver's-
anything?
You don't hear anything. It's a door that's kind of on its hinges. That's underneath the stairway here.
So have Lysandra and Squirm both walked away?
I'm still there.
Silver is going to kind of like slump his shoulders and kind of like have this vague pout on his face. And this really thoughtful look in his eyes. Well, not thoughtful, more confused. And he'll turn to you, Amelia, and he'll say, "Is this how everybody makes money?"
No, most people get jobs.
Get what?
Jobs.
Jobs. Huh. Jobs.
Have you never heard that word before?
There's something you don't necessarily want to do that people give you money for. That, say, your family patriarch tells you have to, even though you don't want to. Impossible tasks.
Are you there anymore, Lysandra? I thought you walked away.
She's like
She's
halfway
close.
between.
Okay.
She's close enough that she overhears this. And yeah, Silver will be like, he'll snap his fingers. Aha, yes, jobs. I see. Excellent. And he'll
You-
stare
Honor-
back down at the Kenku.
You know
Honor
the
it.
bartender at The Yawning portal? That's a
Yes.
job. He gets paid to do that.
Oh, yes. That's where my money goes. Where my family's money goes. When I order drinks.
Yes. He probably doesn't get paid directly from your family. He probably gets paid by the bar, whoever owns it, pays him from the money that the bar makes.
Yes, I see. The drink getter gets money.
Yes.
God,
Owner
heaven.
of the drinks.
Yes.
Is this
Very
door
good.
locked?
It is not. It's basically off its hinges, kind of hanging there.
I'll push it the rest of the way open.
Silver is so much stupider than I planned for him to be.
We can work with that.
I love it. So, there's a cramped chamber in here that smells strongly of sour fish and vinegar and
Delicious.
It's discarded ropes and canvases and you do see one of the tarps in the back of the room kind of moving slightly, and maybe shaking a tiny bit.
Making sure I'm in range to give whatever would be underneath it a savage kick. I'm gonna yank the tarp off.
All right, you yank the tarp off, and there is a very well dressed man laying on the ground saying, "No, please, no, I'll do what you want. My father is very influential."
Oh my god, it's like they're twins. Is he particularly good looking?
I'm decent, yeah,
Squirm's going to look down.
for a human.
And who might you be?
I'm Raynar.
God,
Raynar
Damn it.
Neverember. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be a bother.
you should be.
What's going on? There was fighting. I hid. I was captured with a friend of mine and...
Yeah, Floon.
Yes, Floon. Yes, is he... Have you seen him?
Primarily who we're looking for. Information on that?
Oh dear, I don't know exactly. No, we were drinking at an establishment in the docks ward, and then we were jumped by 5 people who drug us here. That's about all I know.
Wait. So, what occurred between getting dragged here and you hiding under a tarp?
Oh, just some questioning here and there.
Regarding?
It seems there might have been a mistaken identity. Floon may have been mistaken as me, and I just sort of let that happen.
What were they asking Floon who they thought was you?
Oh, nothing, mostly about my father and his businesses and droll stuff, really. I wouldn't want to bother you with it.
And was Floon able to answer their questions?
Not to their satisfactory, no. He was beaten several times, and well, then there was some people that just came in and started killing everyone, and I hid.
Real class act, aren't you?
Look, these are Zentarum and Xanathar. I'm not a fighter, I'll be the first to admit it.
Squirm was more referring to your allowing your friend to be savagely beaten due to them thinking it was you.
And at this, he stays silent and looks down. I can help. I'll go with you. I might be able to persuade anyone that needs to. I am very influential. I'll help you find him.
Okay, well, do I think he's actually going to be helpful, I ask, and I fumble my insight roll.
Yeah, he's gonna be really, really helpful. Like, he doesn't see it, but Squirm, man, there's something in him. All you need to do is cultivate it a little bit, and you can fix this guy.
And Andy, do we handle fumbles the same way as we have been in the Fates of Ren? I think it's like a house rule for you, right?
Yeah, it's either
not
100% true or 100% false. Like,
yeah,
either way, you believe it as such.
Okay.
I'm gonna sigh and look back at Lysandra. I think I found another one for you.
Would Lysandra recognize this particular noble? His father being like the former, like, head guy of Waterdeep.
Yes, yeah, you would.
So Lysandra will say, yes. I am glad that you are alive. Well, I'm glad that they didn't kill you. I take it you know where Flute is?
No. I don't, but I think he was taken by people that came in and tried to kill everyone.
Well, here, come out with us. No need to hide anymore. Everybody's dead. Well, not everybody. And she'll help him up.
I'm gonna walk over to Silver. Good news, Sparkles. I found someone more pathetic than you.
Really? Who?
That's sad.
I mean, hey.
Your first instinct was correct.
Greetings all, my name is Raynar Neverember. I will do what I can to get our friend back.
Never Ember?
Neverember.
Never Ember?
Never ever.
Never Ember?
Oh God, they go on like this.
Yes, never.
Cool.
I should have been a chicken farmer.
They're delicious.
At any rate, what should we do about this? And she's going to gesture at the unconscious Kenku.
Wake it up?
Interrogate it, yes.
Yes.
And then afterwards, I would say it probably behooves us to make sure it accidentally died like the rest of them. Yes?
So many accidents. It's a damn shame. Incidentally, did you say that this one, like, the one that I'd been first attacking, that Writhe first critted, had sort of exploded into ice shards?
Yeah.
I'm like crunching on them the way people like eat ice cubes after drinks.
So the idea here is that I can use Lay on Hands to like restore 1 hit point to this Kenku.
Yeah.
Yes. You could. And Lysandra would actually tell you what to do if you were unsure, if you missed that class.
No. So yeah, Silver will kneel down next to the Kenku and kind of put his hands above it. And I haven't done it yet, Andy. Take it easy with the character token. And he's about to lay on hands, but then he kind of looks up at Lysandra with like kind of a scrunched up face, or not even at Lysandra, just kind of at nowhere in particular. And he says, are we sure we have to kill him afterwards? That doesn't seem like the honorable thing to do, especially after I heal him.
We're not going to kill him. You've said it yourself. It's a dangerous district.
Anyways, we are not going to kill him, and Lysandra will subtly emphasize the we, with including Silver.
Oh, yes. We won't. I guess that's fine. There's a distant look in Silver's eyes that it seems like he's trying to remember basically his training. It's been a long time since he did any of this paladin stuff, and so
Don't strain anything, Sparkles.
he'll give you a snide kind of look and be like, "I'm sure I'll be fine."
Squirm.
And he'll Baldy.
Squirm.
And he'll lay on hands on the Kenku and restore
right.
1 hit point.
All right, so it comes up squawking, and it's looking around, just terrified of all of you. What would you like to ask it?
Crunch another ice cube.
Kenku, what happened here? I'm going to speak in common but enunciate very clearly.
It's looking around. It doesn't really know how to answer you necessarily. And then with like a really deep voice with an orcish accent, it says, "Zenithar sends its regards."
We would generally know that Kenku mimic things, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And it sounded like it was mimicking the voice of somebody. Okay, that makes sense.
I'm gonna sort of crane my head. Are you regards?
It just kind of looks at you, frowning.
Did the Xanathar send you?
It opens its mouth, and this time in a scratchy voice. "No time to loot the place. Just get him to the boss."
Do you know where the boss is? Can you point?
He kind of looks a little frantic at this. But no, doesn't make any other movements.
What else did you hear?
Unless you're doing anything more to it, it looks like it's kind of stopped talking.
She'll pull out her dagger.
Silver will ask the Kenku, if you're going to die anyway, could you tell me where you usually sleep?
Not the time, Silva.
At this, it kind of looks a little more wide-eyed, but yeah.
Damn.
Amelia, could you show us that lovely hypodermic again?
Yes. I'll take out my hypodermic needle.
All right.
Could you show it to our Kenku friend very closely? Just so he knows how lovely it is.
This is my hypodermic needle. I'll hold it in his face.
Oh my god. Silver's walking away. Silver weirdly doesn't want to be around when this happens.
Okay. Isn't it lovely, Mr. Kenku? Now, let's try again. Where or what else did you hear?
Give me a persuasion or an intimidation roll.
Let's do persuasion. I'm so very persuasive.
$21.
Ooh.
Yeah, 21. I'm sorry.
All right. You hear in kind of a thin, nasally voice. Tie up the pretty boy in the back room. Follow the yellow signs in the sewers. And then he falls silent. At this, Silver, you've kind of stepped away for a moment. You feel like you hear something just outside the door over here. And then there's a large knock at the door.
Which door?
This one down here.
Gotcha.
And then you hear, "Open up, City Watch."
I'm gonna turn to Amelia. Should we go?
Yes.
And as you maybe peer through the double doors here of the loading bay, you see about a dozen heavily armed veterans of the City Watch here. Certainly a scary sight to behold. But you did get a little bit of information from your Kenku friend. And that concludes tonight's episode of Goats and Dragons Waterdeep Edition. If you enjoyed this and are curious to see where the story goes, please follow us on Twitch, where we are simply Helpful Goat, or subscribe on YouTube at Helpful Goat Gaming. We are a small independent game design firm and could really use the support. If you'd like to know more about us, our streams, our company, or our upcoming projects, you can visit helpfulgoat.com, follow us on Twitter at HelpfulGoat, or check out our Facebook page at Helpful Goat. Thank you so much to everyone for playing new characters. That was so much fun. And thanks for you taking the time to listen. We immensely appreciate it. We love you all, and from all of us on Goats and Dragons, we wish you an excellent evening. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
Don't get fish hooked.